watching live from Bear Stadium here in Vernia, Texas. I'm Lance Blackburn, and with me, joining me tonight is Hank Beater, the voice of the Panthers. You're watching the Navarro Panthers take on the Vernia Bears. Stay tuned for the Panther football pregame show next. You're watching Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse.
The Navarro Panther Network would like to thank the Panther Posse and the following diamond sponsors for supporting Navarro ISD and this broadcast. Aaron's Dock and Marine Construction.
All right, we're back. We're back here. We're going to go through the Panther team preview. So the Panthers come back from last week, defeating Smithville, getting a win at home, winning 28-21. Last year, we played Vernia at home last year, Hank, and we defeated them 35-6. But I think this is a lot different Vernia team.
Oh, yeah.
So we've kind of fought through, the first couple of games. We've seen quite a bit of improvement here on the O-line. Last week we seemed like we came out with a lot more aggression. We were fighting through that and made some nice plays. Got the running game, rushed for about 382 yards last week, led by Bryce Nall with 13 carries for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's our leading rusher for the team right now.
He is.
Yeah, and he's our quarterback.
That's right. And so the O-line was better. They were more physical. And, we've got a bonus. We've had some injuries to our running backs. Matter of fact, we've lost three of the three starting running backs that started in Navasota are gone or injured currently. And so we brought up a couple of freshmen, young freshman running backs. One being Blunt at fullback and Walker Dietz at halfback. And so we're going to see them again tonight. But I think one of the big things on offense, we were 2 for 7 for 27 yards and one big, huge TD. We did have a couple of drops last week, but, the passing game execution, I think, has got to be better to open up the running game. Yeah. So hopefully we're going to see some of that tonight.
Yeah, our biggest woes on offense, though, has been turnovers. Hold on to the football, make good handoffs, those sorts of things. I think if we clean that up, we'll see a whole different offensive team for the Panthers.
I think you're right. Going to the defense, the Panthers were we allowed 3 big plays in the first half, allowed 21 points. But in the second half, man, tackling, getting off blocks, 0 points, no big plays, no TDs. No touchdowns allowed. We've cleaned that up, so hopefully that's going to translate into the first half of the game here tonight. So for the Panthers, I think one thing is on defense, third down conversion rate for our opposition throughout the year has been about 58%. So the key there is probably get off the field, right?
Yeah. Just that old term now that we use a lot is get off the field. Doesn't mean literally just run off the field. It means make that stop so we can make them punt, and then the defense gets off the field. So yeah, we got to see that. But man, how impressive was that defense in that second half overall? They played a little bend but don't break. They didn't give up the big plays, and I think that was the key: is no big plays.
That's right. So limit the big plays tonight. Maybe let's force some turnovers. We don't have any interceptions on the year, but we'll hope to force a few tonight. I know Vernia throws the ball a lot, like several teams we'll see throughout the year. And then, Hank, you love this one, right? Hit somebody.
Yeah. I mean, and that's we got to be physical because if you let Stratton Hayes loose and you don't play your lanes, he can get out there. He's a scrambling quarterback. He's got some experience too. He's now a senior out there, so he's got that experience. He came in last year and made some things happen for them. They didn't get the win, but he did give them some improvement that they were looking for on offense, and so he's the key. Second key is going to be stopping Colton Schmidt Jr. When he gets out on the outside, he can get down the field and he can make big plays. He's their outright leading receiver by about 300 yards or so. So those are some of the things that we have to do to stop their offense, I think, because Vernia is going to come out and they're going to be firing away. I don't think they're going to just kind of grind it out. They're just going to open it up and they're going to run their trick plays. They're going to do whatever they need to do, run their jet sweeps, and they're going to get out there and try to make big plays early on the Panthers.
So let's jump over to Vernia and do a little preview on them. Vernia is a 4A Division I school, a little bit bigger than us here at the Navarro Panthers. On the season, they're 1-2. They went to Burnett, they lost. They came back home, they beat Gonzales 38-10. And then last week, they suffered another loss to LaGrange, 37-27. They've got a first-year coach, so they're running a new system. Brad Mulder, he comes over from Schertz Clemens. Last year, the Bears were 2-9. They lost in the first round of the playoffs to Austin LBJ, which went on to win or go to state.
They didn't win it, but boy, they came back and made it a game because they were getting blown out first half. But go back to Vernia. I'll get off on a tangent.
Oh no. So they returned 5 starters on offense, 6 on defense, and last year our Navarro Panthers at home defeated Vernia 35-6. The thing about Vernia is they have I don't know if this is a record or not, but it's got to be up there. 25 consecutive playoff appearances, which is amazing. So, anyways, let's jump into their offense. Their offense, they run a run heavy. They run a lot of RPOs. They're led by their quarterback, Stratton Hayes. He's a big kid, 6'3", 185. They design runs for him. He's a hard runner. He likes to scramble, and he's got a great arm. Yes. And his leading receiver, and I think you mentioned him earlier, was number 2, Colton Schmidt. And he's a fast kid. He's great in space. He's their number 1 receiver. He Yeah, they target him quite often. And then they've got a nice little running back, Garrett Lamb, number 20. He's a tough, hard runner, 5'8", 165. And then let's talk about the big boy. They've got a big offensive line. Across the front, they go 295 from left tackle to right tackle, 295, 275, 305, 250, and 260. But let's talk about their big leader on the offensive line, which is their left tackle, number 77, Barrett Edelman.
Yeah.
He's got several offers to Baylor, to Houston, to UTSA.
Yeah.
He's 6'4", 295, but man, Hank, talk about that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I was down on the field when I had the interview with Coach Blunt, down on the field with him, and he comes up, and it was like, wow, look at this kid, a specimen of offensive lineman. If you had to go look in the dictionary, you say what an offensive lineman should look like, he fits the bill. He's got good feet. He knows how to pass block. He can run block. He can do it all, basically, and that's why he's being looked at. But, however, I always feel that one good lineman doesn't make up for the entire line, and I think if the Panthers can make, the other guys have to commit and get other double teams in place where they're double teaming, that leaves one-on-one in some other areas, and I think the Panthers' defensive line can get around. But, he's still, a beast out there, and the Panthers are going to have to kind of watch out for him. So, wow.
All right. Well, good. Yeah. So let's bring in Scott Kibbe from the Seguin Gazette. We're going to bring him in for our fun facts, stats, and prediction section. Scott, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are y'all doing?
Okay. So, Scott, you always come in with some fun facts, so let's hear what you got tonight.
All right. Fact this week, as you all saw last week, Cohen Blunt was called up to varsity. Coach's son, he's a freshman. The last time that a head coach's son at Navarro played for the Panthers, 30 years ago. Coach was Ron Barr, son was Cy Barr. That was actually my first year of covering Navarro football, and hopefully this year is going to go a lot better. Last we saw Cy Barr, he's assistant coach now in Hondo. We saw him a couple of times.
He's still in the business.
Still in the business. So, people will say sometimes, well, coach's son, they get advantages, but Cohen Blunt's a fine player. He's going to do some good things the next 4 years with the Panthers.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Scott, some of your predictions, what you think we'll see tonight.
I think it's I look for a lot better. The Panthers a more consistent and even performance. I think their key is they're going to have to. That big offensive line can wear them down. So they need a good Panther traditional Navarro game where they're 15 play drives. It's a pretty warm night out there tonight too. So I think that's going to be the key. I was very encouraged with the quarterback play of Bryce Nall last week. Seems to be taking command of this offense, which is really what they need right now, especially with the starting running backs out. And seeing more of that, I think that's going to help him. He's able to help the Panthers a lot. I think being able to make plays, being able to make decisions is he did late last week.
Okay, well, I hope that we do see consistency tonight from the Panthers, and no mental mistakes, no turnovers, and caused turnovers. I think that's been what we've missed as well, is not caused as many turnovers as we saw in the preseason when we saw them play in their scrimmages.
Yeah, y'all are right. They will pass more than we've seen probably this year, and so there'll be more opportunities, so we take advantage of them.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Scott Kibbe, for joining us, and we'll be taking a quick break, and then we'll be coming back to the coaches' interviews right after that. You'll hear Coach Rod Blunt, and then you'll also hear Coach Mulder of the La Vernia Bears as well. So, and we'll go ahead and take that first sponsor break as you're watching Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse. Good evening. This is Hank Dietert with the Navarro Panther Network. I'm down on the field with Coach Rod Blunt, the head coach of the Navarro Panthers. Coach, thank you for joining us tonight.
I appreciate you having us and covering our games.
All right, Coach. Well, you got the monkey off your back, so to speak. You beat Smithville last week 28-21. What can you take from that game to this game now with that win?
Just finding a way to win. It's always great to get that first one under your belt. A lot of adversity last week, and the kids kept fighting and found a way to win. And you don't always, not every group's able to do that. But, we made some improvements offensively, defensively, and being able to get that first win's awesome.
Well, I have to say there in the second half, Coach, your defense really shut down Smithville for the most part by shutting them out of that second half. What can you say about that defense?
They did an awesome job, especially in the second half. I think they gave up 2 big plays in the first half, one right after an offensive turnover. Offensive put them in a bad position several times, and they kept fighting and kept them out of the end zone for the most part. And then in the second half, they cleaned it all up and did a great job. Excited about the improvements there.
All right, Coach, you go up against Vernia tonight, the Vernia Bears, and what do you expect out from their defense, and how are you going to move the ball against their defense tonight?
They're a solid defense, do a lot of great things, got a great linebacking core, a great secondary, defensive line gets after it, but we got to win it in the trenches as always. Our offensive line's got to take care of that, get a new line of scrimmage. We got to protect the ball tonight and hold on to it. You can't put the ball on the ground and expect to win big games.
I would assume in practice this week, though, the emphasis had to be on us holding on to the ball and that sort of thing, because we saw way too many that we're not used to seeing from the Panthers.
Yes, sir. We had to clean it up in a lot of areas, not just holding on to it, but making sure we're at the right spots, getting perfect handoffs and all of that. So hopefully that takes care of itself tonight.
All right, Coach. Then stopping their offense, they got 2 key offensive players, I believe, leading that pack with overall offenses over 600 yards is that Stratton Hayes, the quarterback there for Vernia Bears. And then their big receiver, who is their leading receiver, Colton Schmidt Jr., is out on that wideout. And what do you have plans to stop that duo?
They're both great players. Hayes came in last year against us in the second half and did some really good things. But we got to know where 2 is all the time. He's definitely their number 1 target in the passing game. They love running jets with him. So we got to know where he is and stop him. Defenses got to do a great job of not chasing and reading their keys, taking their steps, staying at the hill line and waiting for that quarterback, because he likes to pull it and run it himself. He's a leading rusher and a dangerous guy with his feet and his arm.
All right, Coach, thank you for that. Now on special teams, I know you look to improve each week. And where do you think your special teams is at this point?
We're still improving. I've seen it a lot. We're fielding balls, main thing. We struggled with that early on. But that's where we got to make the breaks. That's where we're going to win close games. So we put in a lot of work on it each week, and hopefully we can use it to gain field advantage and steal a possession.
All right, Coach. Now, I'm gonna look for your 3 keys to victory tonight to beat the Vernia Bears, and what are they?
Win the turnover battle. So we struggled with it. We're behind this year, so we need to win that turnover battle. Defense has got to create some turnovers, and offense has got to protect the football. We always got to win it in our in the trenches, offensively and defensively. Be the aggressors in there and create a new line of scrimmage both sides, and win the special teams.
Okay, Coach, thank you for that. I really appreciate it and wish you the best of luck tonight.
I appreciate it and appreciate all y'all do for us.
All right, Lance Blackburn here with Navarro Panther Network. I'm here with Coach Brad Mulder, AD and head coach for the Vernia Bears. Bears came off a loss last week to a tough, speedy LaGrange team. Puts them at 1-2 coming into the game tonight. Coach, how do you feel? You played 3 games. You've been through camp. How do you feel the team is kind of coming together? And if you had to say, what you feel about the team at this point in the season, what would you say?
I feel like we're steadily improving. It's a one step at a time process for sure. We're still a pretty young crew. Felt like we gave one away in week 1 against a good Burnett team, and then last week against LaGrange, they had some cats on the field, and it was It was tough keeping up with them, and then now another tough team in Navarro. So our non-district schedule is heavy, and I did that on purpose just because coming in, new job, new kids, new coaches, we needed to find some things out early before we got into district play. So I think we're steadily progressing. I think we still make some youthful errors, but those are steadily decreasing as we get through each game. So we're definitely on the improvement road.
Sounds good. You've got a nice mix of some young kids, some seniors, some sophomores, some juniors. Let's talk a little bit about your offense. You've got quite a few firepower players there. You average about 30 points a game right now, so you're putting some points on the board. Talk to me a little bit about your quarterback, Stratton Hayes.
Stratton's a senior. He's a leader. He's a returning starter from last year. I think he came in week 2 last year. He's a converted safety. Played safety on the varsity as a sophomore. So we've had to do our best work trying to keep him reeled in because he still has very much a safety mentality. And sometimes at quarterback you got to keep it reeled in and keep it dialed in. But he is definitely one of our leaders on the field. Everybody looks to him. He's a hard-working devil. Every day we come to practice, he's the first one out here and the last one to leave. Still learning the offense, but he is, like I said, with everybody, he's steadily improving. But he's definitely a good person to have as our trigger man.
All right, so you've got a giant offensive line. But talk to me about your big boy on the left tackle side, Barrett Edelman. He's got several offers, including Baylor. He's a UTSA. I think he's got an offer from Houston as well and several other schools. Talk to me about him. He's got to be a really special kid.
He is. He's kind of he's a hybrid, really. He's a big boy. He's 6'3", 6'3 and a half, and 280 pounds, but he's got really good feet. I think at the next level they're looking at possibly, just because of the height deal, at a bigger school they may move him inside the center. But he's a super talented kid. His football IQ is through the roof. He makes great grades. He's got multiple offers from Ivy League schools, Princeton being one of them.
Wow.
So he's definitely impressive, and he's the nicest kid without the helmet. But when you buckle him up, he's a change man. He's good to have.
Good. Well, let's talk a little bit about the defense as well. You've got a senior linebacker, number 32, Justin Thompson. He has given no offense, but he's given us a lot of problems over the past couple of years. He comes downhill fast, and he's a good player. Talk a little bit about Justin.
Justin is definitely, like, Stratton's our leader on offense, Stratton and Barrett both, but Justin is definitely our leader on defense. He's the one that gets everybody lined up, and he is definitely a leader by example. You want to talk about the hardest worker on our football team, that is Justin Thompson. He is a fire plug. He has one gear, and that is all the way full throttle. He's leading our team in tackles right now, and that's a credit to his defensive line for keeping linemen off of him. But I tell you what, he is one that we wanted in the middle and being sideline to sideline, like you said, and downhill. And we're looking for a big night from him tonight. Good.
And let's talk a little bit about Navarro. Different offense, right? Traditional slot tees. What's tonight? I don't ask for you to give me your game plan or anything like that. But if you had 2 keys or anything, what would you say to stop that offense?
We have to be extremely disciplined and extremely physical. That kind of offense is they pack it all in there, and they are physical. Their offensive line is big and physical and strong, and their backs are good, and they are really good at running this offense. And that was our challenge all week, was just simulating that for our defense. And so that poses some problems for anybody, I'm sure. But they are definitely it's going to take us to have our most disciplined and our most physical night.
All right, awesome, Coach. We appreciate you being a gracious host, and God bless you. And let's pray for a good, healthy game tonight. I'm sorry. Welcome back to Vernia, Texas, where we're here at the Bear Stadium tonight, where we've got the Navarro Panthers facing the Vernia Bears. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pan over to have our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vernia School District asks that you stand if able. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and direct your attention to the flagpole at the west end of the stadium as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, welcome back to Bear Stadium. Tonight, it's about 91 degrees, but the humidity is strong from the south. We're looking at about 97. Feels like it's 97 out here. And I tell you what, Hank, this is a warm one. This is probably the warmest game I think we've had yet, but should be a good one. We're looking forward to it. Our Panthers are wearing their road whites with their gold pants, purple helmets. And the Vernia Bears have got all blue tonight. Blue jerseys, blue pants, blue socks, and some of them even have blue shoes.
Yeah, that's right. And now you got the captains out in the field. I think it's Owen Gonzalez, Bo Brumley, Bryce Nall, and Case Monroe.
For the game tonight for the Bears, number 12,
For the
Stratton
Panthers.
Hayes, 28, Hunter Burchett, 32, Justin Thompson.
Well, let's see how this turns out with the
Darren
coin
Edelman.
toss. I'm kind of interested to see how
Captain
this
for the visiting
works
Panthers,
out.
number
And this is the second week in a row where we see them facing each other, from the at the 50 on each side of the 50. Normally you see it the other way. So it looks like Lavernia's won the toss. Let's see. Oh, they tap on the other side, and they are going to receive it. So they won the toss and they're going to receive it. So usually you see teams nowadays, they like to defer it, but we get to play defense first.
We do. Lavernia is going to take the ball from, it looks like the east end zone, going from our right to left. The Panthers will be going from our left to right. And not a better place to be in the world, right, Hank?
That's right. Well, I got to go outside and get ready for a routine I do every time. So.
Panthers line up to kick off from their own 40. Sebastian Sneed setting it on the tee.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's going to kick it, though, as we know the Panthers.
That's right.
Am I giving away some trade secrets there? But I think it's pretty obvious when we see him out there.
Yeah.
You never know. We've seen a guy named Blackburn before kick the ball as well on an onside, I think it was. Did a very good job at it too.
So back deep for the Bears, we've got number 2, Colton Schmid. He drops it. Mid, it's picked up. He's running up the middle. He's got a lane, and he's brought down by number 42, Jacob Arias for the Panthers.
Yeah, Jacob Arias did a nice wrap-up tackle, took him low. You know, you let one of these return men go, they could go all the way, and that was Sebastian Sanchez, the senior on that carry. Gets it all the way up to the 44. So Panthers already got a chore because Lavernia has good field position right now.
They sure do. So 2 split out to our side, shotgun formation. Stratton Hayes, quarterback, he snaps it, and it looks like false start.
Yeah.
On the Bears.
Yeah, it looked like
illegal motion. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and it looked like that there's more movement than is allowed. There was 2 or 3 guys all moving at the same time, and I would say it's still a false start because of the way they simulated a snap. But man, good deal for the Panthers. Now it's 1st and 15 for Vernia, so they look for that big pass, look for a trick play.
So first down, shotgun formation. He's back to pass. He does throw right. He throws it out. It's caught. Panthers all over him quickly though. Colton Schulke with the coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a short gain in perspective on a pass play like that because they get 5 yards, but it still brings up 2nd and long. So Schulke being in the right position, not letting them get behind him. And that's what I think all you have to do is play a little bend but don't break. Be aggressive up front, though. You got to get home, as Herb Street would say. You got to get to the quarterback.
So about 2nd and 10, shotgun formation. He's a keeper, quarterback keeper. He's loose in the back, and he's hit by the safety. But it looks like he's up close to a first down. Bryce Nall with the tackle.
Well, I have to say, man, Hayes had some patience on that play. He didn't just go and take off. He let his linemen set up the blocks for him, and he followed his blocks well. Panthers have to do a better job in getting in his face.
So 1st and 10 from the Panther 45. He fakes the handoff. It's a reverse coming back this way. He's running. It's contained very well by the Panthers for no gain. Very nice job. The Panthers say they've got the ball.
They're saying he's down.
But I think he was down. The officials.
Yeah, Goldie Smith, they like to run him quite a bit on the jet sweeps, reverses, or get him downfield to get him behind everybody and throw him on a flea flicker. They had a 73-yard flea flicker against LaGrange last week, and that went for a touchdown.
All right, so 2nd and 10, shotgun formation, no backs, 2 receivers to each side. Hayes calls it. He hands it off to number 8, going to the right side. He's got some room, but the Panthers bottle him up after about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah.
They're going to give him 6, it looks like, Hank.
Yeah, and I seeing Hyshek running the ball off to the right side, and when we looked at some of the reports on them, that they like to run Schmidt a little bit more on those jet sweeps, but we're seeing some other people being injected into the offense.
So the sophomore Hyshek on the run, 6-yard gain. 3rd and 4, shotgun formation. He hands it. It is a quarterback keeper. The Panthers stop him short. It looks like a gain of about 1 yard or so. So great job. I think that was Jaden Gomez coming up with the tackle.
Yeah, good job by the Panthers to hold him on that 3rd down and to get the defense off the field. You still have to watch for a fake here because they're inside that 40, and inside that 40 of your own side of the field, or when you're Lavernia on our side, they're going to look to fake the punt.
So he does. Colton Smith, he does punt it. Bryce Nall lets it roll. It's going to go into the end zone. So the Panthers will take it over at their own 20-yard line.
Well, I was surprised on that, Lance, because there was a Lavernia player down there close. He had a shot at it in trying to stop the ball, but they let it go. I thought he had an opportunity to stop it. So,
very much so. And it was clear that Bryce was not going to grab it. So the Panthers will take over at their own 20-yard line.
Good field position if you're starting out first after making that stop.
So Bryce hands it. Dive play right off the right tackle. Nice gain. That's Guerrera.
Yeah. Guerra likes to take that inside, and he does a good job of that side step and getting right behind that tackle on the right side for the Panthers.
So nice gain for Guerra. 7 yards, looks like 6.5 maybe. So second and 4.
I'm sorry.
No, for the Panthers at their own 26.5-yard line. Bryce hands it. It's Cropper off the right side. He does gain a couple yards.
Oh, we got a little wind here, which feels good. And following behind, Matthew Richardson isn't a real big player for the Panthers, but he does a great job of being aggressive and getting after it and trying to stay with his blocks for a good while. So on that play with Guetta, I was going to mention Richardson as being that tackle that I talked about earlier. He's out there making good blocks, so give him kudos on.
Richardson does a great job staying low, I think, right?
Yeah, staying low and staying after his block. So here's a 3rd and short.
3rd and short. Handoff, dive play. Looks like Guerra again. He's going to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, and that's a big play. And the Panthers grinding out offense, hold on the ball, move the ball, get the linemen mano-a-mano kind of style right here. And two out of those 3 plays, we see it go to the fullback, just getting after it. So that's what you like to see by the Panthers. If you're Lavernia, Lavernia needs to looks like they need to get a little more aggressive on on their front 7.
So it looks like Guerra picks up 5. The refs are having a conference.
Yeah.
It looks like
I'm just trying to see if they.
Not sure where they're trying to spot the ball. I think they're trying to get the chain gang going here.
Yeah, Guetta comes in this game with 134 yards. Not bad, for the season starting out. After 3 games of play. And he wasn't a starter, too, so he's filling in right now.
So Bryce under center, hands off, left side, landed Taylor, hesitates, and he breaks loose. Looks like, nice stiff arm. He's still going. Down inside the 40 of Lavernia. Nice run by Landon Taylor.
Oh, wow. And there's two things that happen on that play. One is that initial seam, that gap, get in that alley, got the seal. You see the seal on that one. And then you see Taylor take and break tackles just by holding on the ball. You can tell they emphasized that. You saw him had wrapped it up, both hands on the ball, rolling through the line and just shaking off defenders. And that's what I was telling you about Lavernia. If they want to make stops on the Panthers, they're going to have to get a little more physical with that front seven, because we saw a safety come all the way up and try to make that ended up making that last tackle.
So first down from the 38. Bryce carries it. He's running right. Oh, it looked like he had a little bit of a lane there, but he is pulled down for a short gain. Looks like about 2 yards, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 from the 35-yard line of the Bears.
Kobe Gates just kind of stayed at home on that play. That's all he did for the Vernia Bears. He just stayed at home. He said, no, I'm not going to be faked out. He comes back from his safety position and comes up and just, read the play well. But guess what? Panthers still get yardage on the play. Hey, we got about our 3 yards, right, Lance? So let's keep it going.
He gave us 3 on that, so it's going to be 2nd and 7. He hands off. Dive play straight up the middle. Garris, good run. He's tackled close to the first down yard marker, but seems a little short.
Yeah, just barely. I mean, we're talking about I thought it was going to be a little closer to marker than that, but they're going to say he's about a yard short. So I'll bring up a 3rd and 1. But Guerra just takes that little quick trap play and goes right up the gut, and the Panthers doing a better job of carrying out the fakes on that one too, because if you don't carry out the fakes, then nobody goes with you.
So Bryce under center, he's just going to quarterback sneak it straight up the middle. He breaks loose and gains, gets the first down. And a little more.
Yeah, and you love the old goose play. You get up there and you just goose the center, and the center takes off,
Right.
And that's what most teams call it. Hey, let's go with the goose. It's a quarterback sneak.
That's right.
But it's a quiet snap count. Nobody knows except the quarterback in the center when they actually going to go. So good play there.
Bryce back under center. He hands off. Landed Taylor again to the left side. Oh, he breaks free. He's up. He's close to another Panther first down.
I want to tell you, what I just saw out there, I saw 2 big blocks. One you see out there, number 61 was out there making a big block. And then you see on the other side, the other lineman. I mean, what great blocks. That's what got them open. Yes. And there was almost a helmet on every blue jersey out there, from the white jerseys on to the blues. And that's what caused that play to be so big.
So down to the 15-yard line, Bryce hands it off. Cropper to the right side, cutting back. It looks like he's going to get almost 5 on that.
Execution. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. Down to about the 10. Go ahead.
Execution. I mean, and we're seeing the offensive linemen, really get off the ball and execute. They're getting their angles, because I'm not going to say everything you have to do, but this football game is about angles, and when you get the right angle and you get the right blocks at the right angle, you're going to make things happen. And the offensive linemen are doing that right now to the front 7 of the Lavernia Bears.
So Panthers down to the Bears 11, 2nd and 5. Bryce underneath. Oh, there's a little handoff. Guerra left dive play. Didn't see who was in there. It looked like number 28 for the Bears. Dove in there quick.
Yeah, 28.
Hunter Burchett.
Yeah, he gets in there quick. He just kind of reads the play on that one. He's taking a chance too, because at Panthers, they're very deceptive. They may fake that same play and go to somebody else. So he's taking a chance on that play, but the Panthers still gain some yardage.
So down to the Bears 10. He hands it off to the left side. Landon Taylor to the left side. He is bottled up for almost no gain. Right. It looks like down still at the 10-yard line. 4th down for the Panthers.
Hey,
sorry. No, what do you think, Hank? We haven't seen the field goal unit all year.
No, I think you'll see the Panthers go for it. I'm not going to even try to predict this play, because I saw what happened on the last play. If that last play, opens up the way that I think it will, we may see a touchdown here.
So from the 10-yard line, 4th, Bryce, he runs right. He's fighting. It looks like he's gonna have the first down. He stood up, but he leans forward down to about the 4-yard line. First down, Panthers.
Wow.
That was a big play there.
And that was close to the play I was looking for but this time Bryce Nall just comes around and he takes and spins out, and there was no fake. It was just a quarterback sweep off to the right, and good job of blocking up ahead as the backs. It was student body right all the way.
So Bryce picks up 6 when he needed 5. From the 4, he hands it Guerrero straight up the middle. Oh, he's going to fight. Touchdown, Panthers.
Wow, that was nice to see. Panthers take the ball 80 yards, and they go all the way down the field and get us scores. And I believe he scored from 3 yards out. Was it 3 yards out?
4 yards
4
out.
yards
4-yard
out.
touchdown run.
Don't want to shorten them a yard there.
Kick
but
is up, and it is good. That makes the Panthers 7-0.
Nice job by the Panthers. Awesome job. So, wow.
That's Guerrero's first touchdown of the year. And
Is
I
it?
tell you what, there was a nice hole there. Mac Berry and Richardson made a massive hole there. And Guerrero did the rest.
You know, I'm not against backs, even though I was a lineman. But I was a small lineman, put it that way. But when you see the plays that developed and how they developed, and the running backs getting down the field the way they did, you just got to give credit to the offensive line. The offensive line of the Panthers did their job all the way down the field. And guess what? The backs did their job. They hit the holes, and they held onto the ball. The handoffs looked crisper. And so things are starting to roll here now. It's going to be up to the Panthers defense to keep Stratton Hayes and Schmidt all out of the out of the end zone. So if they can get off the field, get 3 and out, I think the Panthers go down. They have a chance to score right away. They can make big things happen.
So Panthers 7, Bears 0. There's 2:56 left in the first quarter. The Panthers go on an 80-yard drive. Nice grind-out drive, just what we needed, and took up a lot of that first quarter.
Yeah, beautiful job. That looked like truly just good old-fashioned Panther football.
So it looks like,
Blackburn.
it's Blackburn. He does a onside. It is fielded by number 25 for the Bears, Dylan Goddard Jr. He picks it up. There wasn't a lot of wiggle on that one.
Yeah.
As much as there's been in the past, but good effort. And hey, they're gonna have the ball at what? Looks like their own 46-yard line.
Yeah. The only thing about that is that Goddard, I thought, should have went after the ball a little bit, because if he waits on it just a little too long and somebody else gets all it from the Panthers, if I was Goddard, I would have went out at least 1 or 2 more steps and went out and met the ball. But it was almost a perfect onside. Just a little bit slower in that case, we would have had it.
So shotgun motion from Smid, handoff straight up the middle, and he's got a free. Oh, he's tripped up by Blackburn and finished up by Arias there, but not before a Bear first down.
Well, Sebastian Sanchez just takes it right up the gut, and just a big hole opens up. It was, splitting of the Red Sea right there.
So first down for the Bears at the Panther 40-yard line. 2 receivers split. He's going to throw. He's got time. He decides he's going to scramble, and he's taken down. And it's going to, well, depending on where they mark him, that could be a sack, it looks like, but it's only going to be a loss of 1.
Yeah, I don't know where they spotted, probably for no gain. So there's no gain, and that'll probably negate a sack. I'm looking at the marker where they mark. I was like, okay, I guess they just said no gain.
So 2nd and 10, shotgun. He does hand it off again, straight up the middle. He's tackled.
Yeah, and the one thing about Sebastian Sanchez, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sebastian Sanchez. I'm not sure where the starting back was supposed to be Garrett Lamb, number 20, and we have not seen him out there tonight.
No.
But
Sanchez doing a great job filling in right now.
So Sanchez again, straight up the middle. He's got a lot of room. He cuts back. Bryce Nall brings him down, but not before he gets down inside the 20-yard line of the Panthers. And it's the same play.
Right.
Hank. They're hammering us up the middle, it looks like,
Yeah.
on draw plays.
Yeah, and you got to hand it to Vernia. They're really mixing it up from the pass to the run, mostly runs, and it's been Sebastian Sanchez the surprise here tonight.
So it looks like they set up shop at the 16-yard line. This time it is Garrett Lamb. He is back in the game. He straight up the middle for about 2. So the same play again, but this time the Panthers come prepared.
Oh yeah, they were ready for Lamb, and does it mean that Sebastian being in there, Sanchez, when he is in there, the Panthers really didn't think, they're just using him as a decoy. But in fact, they used him rather well, right up the gut.
So 2nd and about 7 inside the Panther. Oh, he throws it over the top, and that's an easy touchdown to Colton Smith. It looks like he just ran a quick slant route over the top, and the corner played off him a little bit and really didn't have a chance. But
yeah, we had no inside help on that one either. We were looking to blitz, and I didn't catch it. I didn't look close enough, but it looked like we had blitzed and they ran the slant, and that's a perfect play against the blitz.
So the kick is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So the Bears come down and drive the entire length of the field there. It looked like about a 55-yard drive for the Bears, so they tied up 7-7 with 41 seconds left in the first quarter.
Well, Lance, did you have any announcements from what we saw? I think, what was it, the sub-varsity played last night, or you have something else? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, last night we did. We had Lavernia. We played Lavernia. 7th grade came over here to Lavernia. They lost 8-6.
Oh, what a battle there.
Was a big battle. And then 8th grade, A team and B team came over here to Lavernia as well. The B team tied 0-0.
Oh, wow.
And then the A team pulled off a victory, though, and they won 16-14.
Wow,
so,
all tight games.
All real tight games. And I'm getting ready to talk about the freshmen and JV, and they were both tied as well. The freshmen, they won, and it came down to literally the last play, won 14-12. And the JV tied Lavernia at home 8-8.
Woo.
So a lot of tight football last night.
Well, you might have saw this in Scott Kibbe's article in the Seguin Gazette Wednesday, but the Panthers have never won. The varsity has never won here in Lavernia. So the Panthers are hoping to break that streak tonight.
So Bears kick it. It's a pooch kick fielded by Guerra at about his own 35-yard line.
Yeah.
A fair catch.
There's two things about that. When he puts up the fair catch signal that early, everybody kind of already backs off. But, man, when you look at it after he catches, you're thinking, man, he seemed to have a lot of room. But I believe that was because, he's already calling fair catch early. But inside of me, I'm going, oh, run the ball. But then you look at it, from the big picture and go, no, you did the right thing. So Panthers got good field position again.
So Bryce hands it off to the left side. Landon Taylor, and he's bottled up. Looks like about a 1-yard gain or a very minimal gain for Landon Taylor.
Yeah, sometimes it takes the defense a little bit to get kind of acquainted with the offense, and right now it looks like some adjustments have already been made by Lavernia to stop that particular play to Landon Taylor. So, yeah, now Coach Blunt's going to have to do something to counter that because those adjustments call for other adjustments on the offensive side. So let's see what Coach Blunt has up his sleeve, so to speak. He's not wearing long sleeves, but we'll see.
2nd and 10. There's 4 seconds left. Let's see if Bryce gets the first quarter. He does get it off.
Oh.
And it looks like it's a dive play, right?
Yeah.
And it almost looks like the fullback tripped on the play, Guerra. So.
Yeah, I think this time it's Blunt that ran the ball. But he didn't quite get his feet under him, I don't think, because he tripped up. But I don't think the officials knew who had the ball, so there was no whistle, and you saw Lyman still going. But that's the end of the first quarter.
So the end of the first quarter, we're tied up 7-7. So tight ball game, as we figured probably would happen. But let's talk a little bit about what happened at Navarro High School this week. Going back to last Friday night, the 9th, girls, the Lady Panther volleyball team played at home against Canyon Lake, and they won in 3 straight sets. So big victory there, opening up district play. They started out 1-0 in district. Saturday, the 10th, cross country ran at Piper, and the Lady Panthers finished 3rd. and the boys cross-country team finished 10th. Then on Tuesday, we had volleyball at Fredericksburg. The Lady Panthers went to Fredericksburg. They lost, but it was tight. It went 5 sets.
Oh, wow.
They won the Panthers won the first 2, but lost the last 3. So it puts them at 11-16 overall, and overall record, and 1-1 in district. So the Panthers have got it. Their own 37. Bryce is back to pass. He's got a receiver. He throws it. It's caught. That's Walker Dietz, and he's going to gain about, looks like 7 yards on that.
Yeah, and it's only going to bring up a 4th down play, but 4th down and 3 coming up here. What does Coach Blunt do? Does he go for it and hope his defense can stop her? No, he's bringing in a play.
Bringing in a play. Tregan James is running it in, so the Panthers are going to run a play from their own 44-yard line, 4th, and it's going to be about 3.5. Null under center.
Yeah, they're trying to draw them off sides, but they may still run a play.
Nope. It looks like the Panthers are going to call a timeout. Yes, exactly, Hank. They were going to try to draw them off sides. Didn't quite work.
Right.
And we'll see what happens now. So that's the Panthers' first timeout of the half, so they've got 2 left. Nice play, though. Nice pass play. Walker Dietz basically running a drag route there across the field, and Null saw him. We had several receivers open, but but good catch and but good coverage as well. Once he caught it, it was the Bears were all over him. So.
Yeah, and then that's one of those that you're hoping that Dietz could break that first initial tackle and then get the rest of the yardage, but let's see what the Panthers do here. Now, I've seen teams do this, is do that quick kick rather quickly, and just make it happen.
So Bryce Null is back in the punt formation, as he is our punter.
Yep.
The Panthers are punting from their own 44-yard line, so it is 4th and about 3.5.
He does the rugby style. Oh, no.
And it is snapped over Bryce's head. He does pick it up. He runs right. And he is tackled inside his own 20-yard line. He didn't have a lot of time to get it off, so that was probably a wise decision by Null. But, yeah, the ball was snapped about 3 yards over his head. He really didn't have a chance there.
Yeah, I would tell you, in all my years doing this broadcast, I would say that I have not seen that happen in a very long time on the Panther side of it. So something you can't afford, in any game. So especially these tight games right now. But let's see if the defense steps up. They can always get the ball back, make a turnover, and we go from there. So
it looks like the Bears got it at the Panther 18. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers split to each side. He hands off, again, up the middle. That's Garrett Lamb. Again, the Bears run the same play right up the middle. And he's going to gain about 4 yards, bringing up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, they keep going to the well, hopefully the Panthers can kind of sniff it out, and the well goes dry.
So they hand it again, same play. The Panthers sniff it out. He's brought down about the 10 or 11-yard line.
Yeah, Rat's just short of the 10, yeah.
That's Lamb again off the right side. So that's going to bring up about 3rd and 3.
Yeah,
from the Panther 10-yard line.
Unfortunately, on that play, that right side of that offensive line with the big boy there, I mean, they just pushed the Panthers' defensive line back on that play.
He hands it, same play again, straight up the middle, and the Panthers make a nice play, although it looks like he has enough for a Bear first down. It's going to be 1st and goal at about let's see where they spot that.
Yeah, I mean, Gomez was in there, but just not enough lean to get that first down.
So from the Panther 7, they run it. A flag's down. He goes in the end zone, touchdown. But let's see what the flag is.
Did they stop?
Offsides, it looks like, against the Panthers. Yeah, so that touchdown is going to stand.
Yeah, when they don't blow the whistle, it could be one of several things: illegal formation against the offense, or offsides defense, and so that's what we see here, offsides against the defense of Panthers. So the touchdown's good, and now it's 13-7 with the Bears ahead with 9:45 remaining here in the second quarter. Up.
And the Panthers grab it. It looks like it was a bad snap, and they do not convert the kick. They bottle him up and tackle Stratton Hayes for a loss. So that's gonna hold us at 13-7 with 9:45 to go. Good play by the Panthers.
Yeah, and they were all right there. Where, I mean, you know, if Stratton Hayes was calling out fire, 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 well, the Panthers were definitely on it and knew what was happening right away and made the stop. So nowhere for Stratton Hayes to go. I think Colton Schulke was one of the first ones in on that tackle. So good job by the Panthers in containing him and not letting him get outside, because we've seen Hayes scramble rather well. But I have to say, you know, I have to give credit where credit is due, that, you know, with Vernia, they are really mixing it up. I mean, they're not, you know, we see a play that's similar, but they do mix it in. They've mixed in the pass tonight. They've ran the ball right up the gut, and they went on just off tackle plays as well. So I believe they're mixing it up enough to keep the Panthers a little off balance, where they can't really tee off and go after one particular player or two.
So after the Panthers drive the length of the field and go up 7-0, there's 13 unanswered points by the Bears. The Bears will kick off from their own 40.
Yeah, like I say, we've seen different players for the Bears touch the ball tonight, quite a few. And so now the Panthers have to respond.
So they do kick a pooch kick again, called fair catch by Landon Taylor at about his own 30-yard line. And so that's where the Panthers will set up shop.
And that I like to see that, because we preserve the possession. You don't have to worry about, you know, trying to take it upfield, fumble the ball, or really you lose concentration if you're trying to do two things at once. That is, like, before you catch the ball, you're trying to run with it. So it keeps your concentration. You preserve the possession. Decent field position at the 30. So go ahead.
Sorry, there was a handoff there.
That was Guetta.
Guetta up the middle on a dive play. Gained the short gain for about 2 yards. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Panthers from their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, the Panthers will have to do a little bit better job, man. I was praising the offensive line on that first series. Now they're going to have to step it up again.
So Bryce under center. Fakes. He goes back to his left side. He's twisted. He turns, and there's a flag down. He's brought down for a minimal, if no gain. And the line judge threw the flag from this side. Let's see what.
It may be a hold called against the Panthers, but I'm just not sure.
I think so. I think you're right, Hank.
Watching the white hat. Yep, it's a hold that goes against the Panthers. Even though we can't see the front of them, that's what we see.
Yeah, and I think that was out here on this side.
Right.
There was Matthew Richardson out here blocking, and couldn't see who else, but.
Yeah, the number 61, which I don't.
I'm sorry, it was Matthew Holmes, not Matthew Richardson. Matthew Holmes out here on the left side. Not sure if he was the guy that got called for holding, but I know he threw it right at his feet. So
that's somewhat of an indication. It just he may not have reached the actual play. You know, got to work on his throws a little bit there.
So 8:45 and counting in the second quarter. Bears 13, Panthers 7. Panthers back to pass. Bryce rolls right. Oh, it hits Cropper right in the hands, and he drops it.
Looks like it went through his hands into his face mask and up in the air, and almost had a second chance to catch that again. But, you got to catch those. I mean, you know, you got to be able to concentrate on the ball and not worry about anything else that's around you. As I told my son when he's playing, he was playing at Sol Ross for a bit, and it was like, hey, you know, catch the ball first. Don't worry about anybody else anything else. That's your first objective. Run a good pattern and then catch the ball.
So Bryce, again, he hands off inside. It's Cropper. He is dragged down for no gain, or minimal gain, maybe 2, it looks like. But the Panthers,
Yeah, Justin Thompson there with grabbing the leg and pulling up on Cropper's leg, holding him, says, no, you're not going anywhere. So Panthers, after their first series, have not looked the same on their last 2 series. So now the Panthers defense is going to have to step it up and make some stops or get some turnovers.
so Bryce back to punt. He fields the snap. He kicks a small, it's rolling, a little side kick, basically still taking a Panther roll down to about the Bear 42-yard line. So a good punt by Bryce.
Yeah.
On 4th down, the Panthers punt the ball away.
So
And I think we've got folks at home. I think we've got a sideline camera that we're trying to implement. So
yeah, you'll see that every once in a while down on the field, which is really cool. We haven't had that opportunity in a while, so we do have that down at the field. Well, Vernia has got the first down here at their own 42-yard line, and now Panthers defense has to step up, so we're going to hopefully wake them up right here.
So 7:44 left in the second quarter. Bears take over at their own 42. Motion. He keeps it. Hayes is bottled up after a short gain of about 2 yards. A little zone read play where the quarterback kept it and just went straight up the left side, almost a dive play, and bottled up by the Panthers.
Yeah, Jaden Gomez read it all the way. He had quarterback all the way, wrapped up Hayes, and not just let him slip through the tackle. He took him all the way down. Good job by Gomez.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and 8. They've got the ball at their own 44, the Bears do. Shotgun, he hands off to the left side, and he is bottled up quickly, almost for, it looks like about a 1-yard loss.
Wow, and just to see who was there first, it looks like Cade Pugh was the first Panther there, but there was a whole host of them. It wasn't just by one tackle only, by one person. That was a good job by the Panthers as a defensive group. Good gang tackling, that's what you like to see.
Absolutely. So that's going to bring up at about a 3rd and 10 for the Bears. Shotgun, he's going to throw it. He's got 4 receivers. He does chunk it. He throws it. Colton Smith, and he's tripped up. It was an out. Oh. I think the ball was down. Now, I know the Panther fans were screaming for a fumble there, but it was an out route where it looks like the corner slipped down. Colton Smith with a great catch, turns upfield and gains quite a bit on that pass play.
Yeah, and if Gabriel Rangel doesn't make that shoestring tackle, Schmidt would have been in the end zone.
So handoff straight up the middle. Sebastian Sanchez, he's going to break it. Oh, the Panthers look like they were coming to strip that ball. And for a second there, I thought that he had stripped it, but he is down all the way almost to about the Panther 12-yard line. So a sizable gain again off the left side. They're going hurry up. 1st and 10 from the 12. Same play, straight up the middle. And again, a sizable gain there brought down by Nick Swartzlosey, number 3, inside the 5, actually at the 4-yard line. So that's going to bring up 2nd down. And I still think he can actually get a 1st down, Hank, before he scores.
He can. And this is just a big offensive line that's pushing people around right now by Vernia over the Panthers.
Same play again, and he is off and looks like he is in for the touchdown.
I thought he was a little short, but the line judge over here on the right side makes the call as he's in. But, we don't have the luxury of instant the replay to go to check with the replay official. So, but either way, it would have been a 1st down and 1st and goal or a touchdown. So
the Bears are up 18-7. Sebastian Sanchez with the touchdown for the Bears. Looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
Yeah, they're trying to chase points.
They've got 3 receivers to the near side. And it looks like, we've got a timeout on the field.
Yeah.
Called on the field by the Bears.
Timeout by the Bears. So they take I believe, their first timeout. of the half. Well, right now it looks like San Antonio Young Men's Leadership Academy Lions are beating the Maynard New Tech Titans 14-8 in the second quarter. They have Marion Bulldogs beating Karn City 18-6, and Hillsboro Eagles beating Gerald Cougars 8-0, and that's some of the scores I have right now, as haven't got an update yet on LaGrange and Lago Vista, because they play tonight as well, and may give us a better idea. But as the Panthers will play Giddings next week, and Giddings had a tough season thus far as well.
Well, I apologize. It is 19-7. The Bears are going for 2 to try to make it 21-7. There's 5:18 left in the second quarter. The Bears call a timeout there to get the correct play that they like. But, geez, are we going to see another Garrett Lamb in it running back?
He's in this time. We'll see what happens.
Are they going to run that straight up the middle? He does he fakes it, and he is bottled up quickly by Jacob Arias, number 42.
Yep.
So they do fail on the 2-point conversion. Nice play there by the linebacker, Jacob Arias.
Yeah, Arias just knifed in, took the legs out of Hayes, and made a great play. So, and now as opposed to being down just 1 point each, now they're down 2 points. If the Panthers can get together and make a big play here, I mean, they're going to be down less than a touchdown. So, you got to root for the Panthers now and get them going. So, we need everybody that can get here now. We need your help.
So that makes the score 19-7 with 5:18 left in the second quarter. So it is a 12-point ball game. So, 2-score ball game, but if the Panthers come back here and can make a nice drive, we just got to get the offensive line's got to get back to that first drive and get going. I'm not sure if the Vernia looks like their defense made some nice adjustments. The past 2 drives for the Panthers, one ended on downs where we snapped it over the punter's head and gave him a short field. The last one we punted, and the Bears will kick off now from their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, they had a 3rd and long situation. They overcame that.
So another pooch kick. Landon Taylor again. He returns it. Oh, he's up the sideline. He's got the kicker to beat. And the kicker brings him down. No, I'm sorry. Number 8 is not the kicker. That's Keegan Hayek.
Hayek, yeah. I don't know.
Sophomore. And makes a heck of a play, but nice return. That was about
I think that one was like a deer in the headlight for Vernia, because they didn't know if he was going to call fair catch or not, and by the time he catches it, he takes off and goes. Nice job by Landon Taylor.
Looks like a 30-yard return. The Panthers will set up shop about the 41-yard line of the Bears. Bryce hands off straight up the middle. Cohen Blunt rumbling, bumbling, stumbling for about 5.
Yeah, you got to love it, and that's almost 5 yards on that particular play. And, that's kind of getting back to what the Panthers started out early. They were going to get it early, and they were able to go right up the gut. And so now we'll see if the Panthers can sustain that. There's plenty of time. There's 4:44 remaining here in the first half of play.
So Panthers come to the line. Bryce under center, same play. And Cohen, Cohen Blunt with a nice first down run. He had a lot of room and some good blocking again, Hank, from the right side.
First down after that first series. Then they went 3 and out into those next 2, and this is the first down for the Panthers on their 4th series with the ball. So
first down from, it looks like the 28-yard line of the Bears. The clock is ticking at 4:14. Bryce pitches it out, and that is Caleb Garcia, I think.
Yeah,
Caleb
Garcia
for the Panthers.
He gets right back to the line of scrimmage, I think, and that play didn't kind of work out for the Panthers, but you just you got to try some different things. Even if they don't work out, you got to see what works sometimes. But 3:48 remaining here in the first half. Panthers trail 19-7.
So 2nd and 10 again from the 28-yard line of the Bears. 10 on the play clock. Nall under center. He fakes and goes left. There's flags down, stops the play.
So they're going to call a false start against the Panthers, and it looked like it came off that right side of the Panthers. If there was a little quick movement there. So that hurts, because now you take it basically 2nd and 15 for the Panthers. See if they can overcome a little bit of adversity here. They go down a score, and this is still a football game right now.
Well, the Vernia did receive the opening kickoff, so if the Panthers can score here and hold them, then they can receive that second half kickoff. So it is 2nd and 15. Bryce under center. He's back to pass. It looks like, a diving catch.
Wait, let's see what the official
The official says.
He caught. It looked to me that it was a catch, but no. He didn't.
So Colton Schulke was diving, but I'm not sure if the ball was out of bounds or if it hit the ground first. But it was hard to see. It's the other side of the field from us.
Oh, man.
That was
You're wearing that jersey reminds me of a player named Dean Wallace that goes and lays out and catches some of those balls from Will Eveld, and that's kind of what it looked like. To me, I thought he was in. I just couldn't tell if he cradled because he was away from us. We didn't have a good angle to see.
No. Too bad we don't have instant replay, Hank, right?
Or the other angles.
So, Landon Taylor moves in the backfield just a little quick out of his stance, and it looks like the Panthers should back up the Panthers for 5.
Yeah, these were the mental mistakes that, you were hoping that they could clean it up a little bit, as the Panthers worked on that quite a bit. I mean, I can tell you in that first series, if the Panthers could keep that up and kind of, pull that back in and get what they had in that first series, I mean, they could still make a real good move here, 3rd and like a bus ride. So
3rd and it looks like 20.
Yeah. So we have the QR code that we want to put up for the Audiovisual Club for donations. So we wanted to get that up here before we forget about it in the first half. So we were reminded of it by our director here, Javier Monticello. So there it is.
There it is.
So
if you have not donated, I'm gonna call you out and say, please donate. This is what allows us to be on the air. Your generous donation. So if you did not make it out to Lavernia tonight, if you're a grandparent or if you're an uncle or an aunt or just a regular parent, please consider that this broadcast is sponsored by the students, the Audio Visual Club that has just been started here at Navarro Panther Network. So any donations are much appreciated. So please let's if it's $5, it's $5. If it's $100, it's $100.
Right.
But we much appreciated, and we will not be here next week if we don't get some donations tonight. So.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do here. Like I said before, it's 3rd down and a bus ride for the Panthers.
So 3rd and 20, 2 receivers split to the near side. Bryce is back. He's going to run a draw, and he's bottled up quickly for about a short gain for the Panthers. It looked like it opened up.
Initially, it was open. Just could not get to the hole because it collapsed down from the outside. Good job by some of the defensive linemen to collapse back on the inside, because they didn't get – if they would have got a little more pressure, if the offensive lineman actually would have let them come upfield more, it would have worked just like a screen where Bryce Nall would have had a lot of room. So expect the Panthers to pass on this play. I mean, 4th down and about, 19?
Yeah, it looks like 18, 19 from the 35. Bryce back. He's got 3 receivers out. He rolls right.
Flag.
The flag's down. He does chunk it up in the air. Falls incomplete. Another flag around where the ball, it could be pass interference, but I think this one might be.
Well, you may have offsetting, and we do the down again. It's 4th down. So it depends on if that's an offensive holding and if that's a defensive pass interference. So we have to look and see what. So pass interference against the defense, yeah. So they offset. We get to do the down all over again. So What do you see on this one, Lance? I mean, I don't know if Panthers really want to do any kind of trickery. I mean, it may be just straight, one little play action and try to get it down the field. But if I'm Vernia, I'd take a couple more guys back and put them back about the 15-yard line just to make sure nobody gets behind it. They're going to be right at the first down, but, time is now the friend of Vernia. It's 2 minutes, 2 seconds left.
So Bryce rolls left. He's got a receiver. He throws it, but it's way over the head of Colton Schulke. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. The Bears are going to take over with 1:54 left in the half, leading 19-7.
And that play was similar, except it was more of a deeper route that was taken by Schulke, as we saw that touchdown last week to Schulke from Bryce Nall, and then that one was on a rope. This one was just a little bit too much mustard on it. I think Schulke was in good position on the outside. If it's thrown a little bit to the outside, Schulke had a chance.
So shotgun formation. He throws it. It looks like dumps it out to Colton Schmidt. Schmidt goes. He's got a lot of room. It almost looked like a backwards pass.
Yeah, it looked like a lateral. I thought he was going to look downfield to throw it again.
And he just ran it straight down the field, and a huge gain for Schmidt.
And I think Coach Blunt is looking for a hold on the outside receiver there.
I think so. I think you're correct. So shotgun, they've got the ball at again, they pass it out, a little dump off to number 6, and he's pulled down after he's still fighting. A minimal gain, though. It looks like about 3, and that was to Walker Frank, senior.
Yeah, minute 35 left, and he stayed in bounds. The Panthers kept him in bounds, I should say. So Vernia takes a timeout on that one as well.
Timeout called on the field by the Bears.
So the Panthers trailing here 19-7, a minute 35 remaining in the first half of play, and they had a couple of good spurts on that last series, but then kind of shot themselves in the foot with a false start and all. And so now, the Panthers have to play defense, make that stop. Maybe we could see that same stop that they did against Smithville right at the end of the game. We need to see it here, and I'd watch for Schmidt going down the field or getting him open, because you get him in space, he could go all the way.
Yeah, it's key. At minute 35 to go, they've got the ball at the Panther 44-yard line. This is a crucial drive here for the Panther defense, and and we need to hold them desperately here. So,
yeah, we got to see if we could get them going, and we'll hope that they come out and make a charge here. We've seen crazy things before. Scoop and score, pick 6. You never know.
Let's see a defensive play here. Let's get a playmaker. Oh, it snapped. It's through the legs, and Stratton Hayes has to just dive on it. The snap was between his legs on the ground, rolled back, and he looks like they're going to lose about 12 yards on that.
And Stratton Hayes was asking the official for something that he was pointing at some of the Panther players. I don't know if he's trying to say that they were over the ball where the center couldn't get the snap. I have no earthly idea. I'm just throwing it out there. But he was not happy with that play with the officials.
So shotgun, he's back to pass. He's got a receiver. Oh, no.
Oh,
it went through the hands of Gabriel Rangel. It looks like he led his receiver a little bit too much. That was number 11, Logan Matum, was led a little bit too much, Hank, and that's going to bring up 4th down in a long, about 20.
Panthers with 1 timeout remaining. It's 50 seconds remaining here in the first half. Oh, man, what can you do with that? I mean, this is high school ball. Anything can happen. We just saw it right before we're asking for a big play. It happened.
So punt formation, Smid, Panthers rush him. It's a low kick. Bryce lets it roll. It takes a huge bear bounce all the way down to about the 12-yard line.
And worse than that, the time keeps ticking all the way as it's rolling. So it takes it 37-3. And that rugby-style kick, that's what it prevents you from doing, is fielding that ball with ease. So now Panthers take over all the way down inside the 15-yard line, down at the 12, like you said. And now they have a big hill to climb to get out of to even score. And so you may even see the Panthers, since they get the ball in the second half, you may even see them take a knee here. I don't know.
Yeah, 37 seconds left from your own 12-yard line. Bryce under center. He hands off up the middle. It's Walker Dietz. And he's nice, sizable gain for Dietz.
Right.
He picks up, it looks like 6 or 7 yards on that. And hurry-up offense, 25 seconds and counting. Bryce back under center. Hands it off again. That's Guerra. Guerra picks up a first down and more out to about the 27-yard line of the Panthers.
So now
again, hurry up, 15 seconds and counting. Handoff to Dietz. Dietz hesitates, and he's brought down. He didn't have a lot of room to run there, but minimal gain, looks like about 2, and that's gonna be the last play of the first half.
Yeah, that's the last play, and 19-7, the Bears leading the Panthers here in the first half. And so, Lance, what a first half looked really good from the start and all, but the Panthers kind of slowed down there on offense, and the Bears picked it up from there. So we'll see what happens here in the second half, as we'll need to go ahead and take a break and get to the Diamond sponsors and let them run, and then we'll come back with the Panther Band and the Dazzlers, I believe. So you go ahead and take us home there, Lance, if you'd like.
So you're listening from Bear Stadium here live in Lavernia, where stay tuned for the Panthers and the Panther Band and the Lavernia Band. You're watching Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field the grandest band in the land, the Purple Pride Panther Marching Band. Under the direction of Patrick Todd, J.C. Alexander, Tyler Carpenter, and Anthony Gutierrez. Drum majors for the season are Elena McCorder, Madison Taggart, and Alex Cantrell. This evening, the Panther Band will be performing a portion of their 2022 UIL marching show entitled Sands Through the Hourglass, A Journey Through Time.
And then we'll go over. We want to bring us back after the band.
New members of the week are Alex Soto and Michaeli Cropper.
So we're
Monsters of
back,
the week
and
are
we've got
Vincent
Scott
Hayes
Kibbe
and
back here with
Matthew
us,
Hyatt.
and he's going to bring us
Colorado
some of the
member
first
the
half
week
stats.
is
Scott?
All right.
Aiden
For the Panthers, 7 first downs, 24 rushes for 78 yards, 7 passing yards on 1 out of 3 attempts, 1 punt for 36 yards, 1 fumble, did not lose it, 3 penalties for 20 yards. Leading the way for the Panthers, Landon Taylor, 4 carries, 39 yards. Caden Gariff, 6 for 25 and a touchdown. And then Taylor had the 1 catch for 7 yards. For Vernia, 9 first downs, 19 rushes for 94 yards, 66 yards passing on 5 out of 6 attempts. They had 2 punts, average of 40 yards, no fumbles. They had 2 penalties for 10 yards. Leading the way for Vernia, rushing was Sanchez, kind of a surprise to me tonight. 9 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then, of course, Colton Schmidt's done a lot of damage. 4 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
Oh, wow. And that's kind of what we expected, right? I mean, that if he gets out there in space, he can make big plays, and that's what he's done. And that slant route he ran, it looked like the Panthers were blitzing at that time, and they ran the slant to that same side, and it just wide open for Schmidt. And good job by Hayes to get it right to him at that point.
Yeah, it was a great call into that defense, and he is an athlete, and he's going to make plays. And Panthers have not done a bad job. It's certainly on the on Hayes tonight,
right.
Not letting him run a lot. put pretty good pressure on him when he's thrown. But he's been still able to get to Schmidt in some key situations, especially at that 3rd and long that they had down there.
Right, and that was a little comeback, that they run down, sideline, comes back to the ball, perfectly timed. I mean, Hayes has to put it in the right place, and he did.
Yeah.
Sad to say for the Panthers. But now the other side of Sebastian Sanchez has been a surprise because, we had him not even being a starter. We had Lamb being the starter, and then here is Sebastian Sanchez running the ball. And I believe he's the leading rusher for the Bears.
76 yards. He's just been very quick. He slipped by some Panther defenders a few times because normally with the job they've done on Hayes, they should be holding him. I think they'd be holding him down to a lot less offense tonight. But he's been a surprise. He's been something to make some adjustments for.
Yeah, and that first series of the Panthers, we thought, me and Lance both are going, oh, this is great. They're doing exactly what we wanted to see. They just took the ball down, good old-fashioned Panther offense, and just did what they needed to do. The line was blocking great, had big holes, and then all of a sudden you see the next 2 series like, oh, what happened? In that 3rd series, they moved the ball, but they kind of shot themselves in the foot with a false start and some other things that went wrong for them. So.
Yeah, since that first play, beautiful. 13 plays, 5 first downs, exactly what you wanted. They've only managed 2 first downs since then. One was right at the end of the half. And, a lot of it's just the mistakes. They're not able to overcome those mistakes yet.
Right.
They've had the holding penalty, the 2 false starts penalties. I don't think they were back-to-back, but 2 on the same series. This is just not an offense that have the explosiveness now to be able to have much of a chance with 2nd and 15, 3rd and 20, anything like that.
But by having 2 missed conversions or tries, now that makes it pretty reasonable because if the Panthers when they get the ball, they score. They're down, less than a touchdown. They go and make the touchdown. They have the lead, so.
That last series, not letting Vernia score on that last series. If let them score on that last series, we're probably done tonight.
Right.
They got the stop. They get the ball back in the first half. They can go back to some of those things, just eliminate some of those mistakes that they're making. They can drive down there again. Momentum shifts. The defense hasn't been run over tonight. That big offensive line has not pushed them around. They've made some mistakes tonight defensively, and that have allowed that. And of course, the high snap on the punt that put them in such a bad situation.
Right.
So momentum shifts if you can drive
Make
down
plays.
there and score on that first series.
Yeah, make plays. And we were asking for a big play, and then the ball goes between the legs of the quarterback and of Stratton Hayes for Vernia.
That's right.
Yeah, all right.
That's right. Good mojo there.
Yeah, the announcer jinx. Hey, we got it reversed, and it actually worked to our favor. So, so Scott, you said it. Panthers cleaned it up, and they just do what they did in that first series. Defense, I felt at times that they did get pushed around because the holes were just so wide open where Sebastian Sanchez had. There was a couple of times, but for the most part, I believe you're right, that the Panthers defense has held their own because I see our linebackers really shooting the gaps and getting in there and making stops in the hole when they need to. And I think that's the big key. You got to keep those big boys occupied and let your linebackers run free.
Yeah, you take a few gambles. You have to.
Right.
And sometimes you don't get away with it. Sometimes you're going to overrun the play.
That's right.
But you know what? No big play tonight, though. I mean, think about the last games. All 3 games they'd give up touchdowns on their first series. There's nothing really big tonight. Now they don't have the speed of the teams the Panthers played. I think in the last 3 weeks.
Right.
But that's a good sign. And feel like they have a little more control. You just got to get some momentum and put a little pressure on them.
Right. Right.
Yeah, win the turnover battle in the second half, right?
Absolutely,
got to maybe grab a couple turnovers and flip the field, almost like that punt that was snapped over Nall's head was basically a turnover. I mean, they started at the own 18-yard line, or I'm sorry, the Panther 18, and so that really hurt us there. But yeah. Hey, we get the ball coming out of the second half. If we can make something happen, and hey, get a couple big plays ourselves. If we can rip off a long touchdown run, I don't think we've seen one all year, have we?
No, we have not. And they'll think about it last week. Shut them out in the second half. Came back against Smithville. Build on that. Remind them of it. Panthers pride themselves on being a second half team, fourth quarter team, for sure. Stay in it for the fourth quarter and see what happens.
Do what was it? Who was it? Was it Appalachian State? What team was it that scored 40 points in the in the fourth quarter. I can't remember which team. Oh, that was Appalachian State.
against
North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah.
40 points. So, hey, you can't say it can't be done.
As an Aggie, I would appreciate you not mentioning Appalachian
Oh,
State.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Very
But-
offensive to me.
But Michigan's been in the same boat before,
Yeah.
so yeah. Well, thanks, Scott Kibbe. You can always hear Scott Kibbe or see Scott Kibbe's articles in the Seguin Gazette on Wednesdays for the previews, and then on Sundays that you give us some insight on what's happened in this game tonight. Is that correct?
That's right. Yep.
And where else can we find you?
Find us online. Through Gazette.com. We also keep updates through our Facebook page through every game.
Okay, Scott. Well, thanks for joining us and giving us all the insight. We really appreciate it. And have a good evening.
Thank you too.
Thanks, Scott.
All right. Well, Lance, we've got you've got the scoring drives. I think.
So let's go through.
Let's talk about that, and then we can kind of revert back to that, and then
Sure.
kind of see where we're going to be at by that time for time wise.
So let's start on the Vernia side. They received the kickoff to start the game. They started at their own 44-yard line, and the Panthers held them on the first drive and forced a punt. And on the second Bears drive, they started from their own 46. I think the Panthers tried an onside kick there, and it wasn't quite successful. And they drove down and got a slant pass to our probably right now the player of the game, Colton Schmid.
Hey, don't give it away too early.
which tied up the score 7-7, but it was about a 56-yard drive for the Bears. Third drive, they started at the Panther 18, and that was after the snapped punt over the punter Bryce Nall's head. So it was a short field for him, a 7-yard touchdown run, but we held them on the extra point. We sacked him on the kick and the holder and made it 13-7. On the fourth Bears drive, started at the Bears 42-yard line. They drove it down. That's where number 27 Sebastian Sanchez really took it to us a little bit between the tackles, and had a short touchdown run there and made it 19-7. On the fifth Bears drive, they started from their own 41, and they actually ended up punting. So 2 punts, 3 touchdowns for the Vernia Bears. On the Navarro Panthers side, the Panthers' first drive was really the highlight of the game. When they went 80 yards, Hank took it down the field, and Guerrera took it in for a short 4-yard touchdown run, and it was 7-0. On the second Panthers drive, started at their own 37. That's when it was on downs, and they snapped it over Bryce Nall's head, and they got the ball. The Bears did down on the Panther 18. The third drive started at the Panthers 30-yard line. It resulted in a punt. The fourth drive started at the Bears 41-yard line, a short field, but the Panthers couldn't move it. It was the result of the drive was on downs, so 4 downs and didn't get anything there as far as a first down goes. And on the fifth and final drive, the Panthers got the ball after holding the Bears to a punt, and they moved the ball a little bit, but ran out of time, and it was half. So
and that's I mean, the Panthers, they come away like Scott said, and you've said both. If you just get the ball, take and do something with it this next half, go down, score a touchdown. Wow, this game could be very similar to what we saw last week in Smithville, but you have to shut out Vernia. You have to stop them from, you have to stop them from scoring. It's, I wish it was that simple.
Right.
But, I mean, the defensive schemes, I think, are fine. It's just every once in a while, you get burned here or there, but that's on both sides of the ball for both teams. And
That's right.
If you don't take chances, though, you may never get where you need to be. And we saw Arias that was down there as the linebacker coming through, and making a big play on a run blitz, and he was able to make the stop, and that was a big play there by the Panthers. So, well, I mean, Lance, I think I'm ready to see a second half that the Panthers, if they can come out and dominate the second half, we'll be just fine. And we hope that everybody out there watching, really gives us that, I could feel it out there, that we're feeling that that comfort of you being out there going, yeah, let's go Panthers. So,
So let's look at a couple scores that we've got across the area. I'm trying to find the Giddings game here. And, last week we played Smith Mills. Smith Mills up on Taylor 21-7. Giddings is actually tied with Burnett at home in the second quarter, 7-7 in that one. Jarrell, we're going to play them down the road, is at home. They're getting beat 22-6 by the Hillsboro Eagles.
Yeah, and then I have a weird score.
I've got a crazy score here for you. Is you looking at what I'm looking at?
Well, the LaGrange over Lago Vista 2-0.
I was going to mention the Cuero Gobblers are playing at home in a big game against the Corpus Christi Cal Allen Wildcats, and Cal Allen looks like is up 10-0, almost halftime at Cuero. So that's a little bit of a shocker. Cal Allen's a great team, but man, Cuero has just been on fire this year. So,
but Cal Allen's that 4A Division I.
They are.
So they're a bigger school. So they won't Cuero or neither us will see them except in other sports, but not in football, the way it works out. So
the other game we're keeping an eye on, I don't have a score here. It's Fredericksburg. The Battlin' Billies are traveling down the road.
And I don't have it either.
To Wimberley. But we don't have a score on that one, but we'll try to update you, see if we can grab one if something comes in. But, Hank, you mentioned it. There's a wild score. LaGrange has traveled down to one of our district foes, the Laga Vista Vikings, and Laga Vista is up with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter, 6-2.
Yeah, strange score on that one. You think safety or a run back on a 2-point conversion, by the defense, because you can get 2 points by that way too. And real quick, before we get to the Panthers running out of the tunnel, if we could show the QR code for the we'd like to see that again to donate. Make sure to Make sure to go with your phone, click on it with the camera, show it, and then you can make a donation through PayPal. It's for the Audiovisual Club here at Navarro. As we have students now running this, we have students that are putting this on the computer with the students behind the cameras. So make sure to help us out and get this thing off and running. It'll take some time, but we hope we can get all the other games. Now here comes the Panthers. As they run out on the field. I mean, if it's anything like last week, Lance, you may see a whole different team coming up. But I still think the injuries that the Panthers have seen throughout the first half of the season, or first part of this season, I should say, is really crippled the Panthers to a certain degree because the depth comes into question. But, hey, this is still football. Next man up, right?
Next man up. You know what's interesting? In my week's research of looking at the lineups and looking at both teams, one thing I did notice, though, Hank, is Vernia does not have any players that play both ways.
Yeah.
And the Panthers have quite a few. So let's see how that plays out in the second half. Hopefully that's not a bad omen for us, but that is just something that I looked at. So
well, you can even see it on the screen if you look at comparison how many is on the sideline for the Panthers, and then how many you see over there for Vernia. It's like, oh my goodness, I did have it looked at one time that Seguin was tied up. I don't know if that is it's now Seguin up 14-7 over Kyle Lehman Lobos.
All right, so the Panthers are going to receive. Panthers will be moving in the third quarter here to start from our left to right, and the Vernia Bears will be moving from our right to left.
And you got Cropper and Dietz down back there to receive deep for the Panthers. But we've seen Vernia pooch kick it every time, and either we fair caught it or Landon Taylor took it 40 yards at one time, I believe, and was able to go straight up the sideline. So we'll see if that happens again. And usually you don't see a kicking team change unless there's an absolute need for it. But, pooch kick after pooch kick. But here would be an opportunity to kick it deep over the heads of the deep men if you have that ability.
So let's see what they do here, Hank.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's go, Panthers.
So it is a little bit of a pooch kick, a little deeper. Walker Dietz with the catch. He's returning it. Nice return. He brings it out out to about the 27-yard line of the Panthers, and that's where they'll start.
So now the Panthers, have to take. I think this is almost, and it may not be quite yet, but this is as close to a do or die situation, I think, for the Panthers to go down and score. Well, they get it to the 27-yard line.
27-yard line. It looks like is where we're going to start. And Bryce has got the play. We come up to the line. He's under center. Motion. He hands it to the fullback, running through. Looks like Guerra right up the middle. Nice gain for Guerra. Looks like about 7 yards.
And really, nobody touched him till right there as he's going down. He runs into his own offensive lineman and did a good job of cutting off his offensive lineman. Just ran into him a little early, but really, nobody touched him till he was already 5 yards down the field. So good job by the O-line again.
It almost looked like the first drive, didn't it, hey?
Yeah. I know, we talk about it all the time.
So the handoff again, straight up the middle. Guerra, he's bottled up this time, and for no gain, it looks like. So that's going to bring up about third and about 3.5, 4.
Yeah, Thompson, he was mentioned in Scott Kibbe's article as being one of their leading tacklers, and he's the guy to stop. He slices up in there, reads the play, and makes the stop on Guerra. So third down and a little more than 3 yards, but closer to 4.
So Bryce under center, he hands it, same play, right off the right dive. And it looks like it's going to be close for the first down. Let's see where they spot it.
I think it's still going to be just short. I mean, here I don't think it's a no-brainer. I think you go for it, but that's me.
He is a bit short. The ball's spotted just short of the 41-yard line of the Panthers. So it is fourth down. Looks like the Panthers are going to go.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a perfect opportunity for Goose, but they're really loading the box there up front, right over the center.
Receiver split to a near side. It's going to be there's
timeout.
Timeout.
Justin Thompson was there, and so that
it almost looks like Bryce was going to look like he was going to quarterback sneak that one again. And he didn't have to get much. It's fourth and about 1.
Right.
So it looks like it's marked right. Well, maybe a little bit more than 1. Looks like the first down is going to be right at the 42. Or I'm sorry, the 37-yard line. I apologize. The 37-yard line of the Panthers. And the ball sits just inside the 36.
Yeah, and right now we've got 10-14 remaining here in the third quarter. As you can see on the screen, Panthers down 19-7. This is where, as they say, the rubber meets the road right here, and it's time to, time to really get after it for the offensive line. And like I said, the offensive line, I think tonight has been doing a good job. Now it's going to be a matter of see if they can finish this and get that first down. So I don't know who you go to here. I'm up in the air with who gets the ball.
So Bryce hands it. He goes to Guerra straight up the middle. First down for the Panthers.
Yeah.
And
Guerra's a little slow to
Guerra's
get up.
a little slow to get up. He picks up about 4 or 5 yards on the carry. He does hop up, though.
Yeah,
it almost looks like he's holding his shoulder there.
Yeah. I think it's a little
right shoulder.
Little stinger. If you played football, you know what that is. You get a little bit, hit at the right spot, either, right close to the shoulder area, and it causes that tingling all the way down the arm, and it's just that quick little pop, and sometimes then you get everything back pretty quickly.
So the ball on the Panther 39-yard line. Null back. He fakes it. It just spins off. He's being pulled down, almost a first down, but it looks like he's going to gain. He's still getting pushed by his lineman.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Matthew Holmes comes in there and it says, hey, no, we're getting a couple more out of this. So good run by Null because he was able to spin out of the first tackle, but he's kind of coming back a little slow to the sideline. So we got Schulke coming in now at quarterback.
So it looks like 2nd and 2. Bryce Null looks like he's a little shaken up. Comes off the field. So we've got Colton Schulke now in at quarterback.
And he usually steps right up and comes right in and does a good job.
Well, he snaps it, fumbles it, picks it up, and he just goes ahead and tries to gain as much as he can.
I feel.
Which
go ahead.
right is new when you get a new quarterback in, the center and exchange is usually a little off. So that's what happened there.
And I feel bad because I think I just jinxed him. I'm over here going, yeah, he comes in, everything usually runs smooth, and then that happens. Like, okay, so we did a good job of getting Vernia to snap it through the quarterback's legs. Now we'll have to, work on getting a good play here on third down for the Panthers.
So third down from the 46. It is Schulke. It's straight up the middle, and he is bottled up with nothing. Boy, I tell you what, number 32.
Yep.
Wow, Justin Thompson, the senior linebacker. Man, he read that.
Yeah, he's a physical player, and he's playing physical. He's playing downhill the whole time. I mean, there was no hesitation by him to come into that line, and if you don't pick him up early, he's going to take that momentum and go right straight through you.
So Bryce Nall still on the sidelines. It looks like Landon Taylor is the backup punter. He's back deep. It's about 4th and 5. A good snap. And it looks like he shanks it off the side of his foot and goes out at about geez. It looks like it's about the 49-yard line, so that would be a net of about a 5-yard punt there.
Yeah, not even quite 5 yards because they were 4 yards and just barely made it back close to the marker. So, oh, my goodness, Lance. Oh, you just that turned ugly quick.
It sure did. So the Bears are going to have the ball at the Panther 49-yard line, their first drive of the half.
Yeah, and they're on the Panther side. It's 7:50 remaining here in the third quarter.
So the Panthers chew up quite a bit of clock. It is a handoff straight up the middle, and that is Garrett Lamb, the starting running back, and he picks up a nice gain.
Yeah, he follows his offensive lineman rather well on that one. Sebastian Sanchez looks to be a little more shifty, I think, in the phone booth, so to speak, because he can get some of those small cracks or openings and get to them.
So pick up a 4 down to the Panther 45 in the shotgun. He's back to pass. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a receiver, Smid, and Smid's going to run and get an easy touchdown. Oh, and that looks like a late flag as well. But, man, he just ran a 9 route, ran right by our cornerback.
Yeah.
And used his speed, and I tell you what, that was a perfect throw.
Oh, man, it was right on the money. I think Tregan James
was the cornerback,
He was the corner on that one, and I believe they got him for unnecessary roughness after the play, and so that's going to be another 15 yards. So you're going to see Vernia on their kickoff probably kicking onside.
So they are going to kick it, it looks like. Not going to go for 2 on this one, Hank. The snap is back, hold is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good.
Yeah. Do we have a flag? Nope.
No flags. So 7:13 left, and that's going to make it the Bears 26 and the Panthers 7.
Yeah.
Here in the third quarter from Bear Stadium here in Vernia, Texas.
And those were the kind of plays that we didn't give up all in the first half, and then we see it, right away in that second half here after, was that the second play for the Bears?
Second play.
Yeah.
40, it was about a 44-yard touchdown pass to, again, Smid, which, man, he continues to make plays, doesn't he?
Right, and, Hayes putting it where he needed to put it. It was a little underthrown, but when you're that, you've got about 3 yards on the defender, you can underthrow him a little bit. So,
yeah.
Because the defender, James, was trying to catch up, and he's not looking back at the ball at that moment. He knows he's been beat, and so that's the advantage that goes to the receiver that can follow the ball in. So, well, wow.
So the second drive for the Panthers, let's see what happens here. They're going to get the ball back, and then the question is who's going to come back in at quarterback?
Yeah, now the official umpire is taking the ball, or back judge actually is taking the ball and putting it all the way up to the 45 of the Panthers because of that penalty. And now let's see. Looks like Vernia is going to go with the onside. I mean, if you get this kind of field position, why not, right?
Right. So they are going to kick off from the Panther 45-yard line. So let's see what happens here. It does look like they're going to line up for an onside kick. Sure enough, it is. It's a great kick, but it's a nice, and it looks like Jacob Gilbert, number 35 for the Panthers, jumps on it. He bobbled it there for a second, but it looks like he fell back on that easily.
Yeah, Gilbert, you know, yeah, you're exactly right. He bobbles it just for a second and it falls back on it. And then several other Panthers were right there around him to help him corral it in. So the Panthers preserve that possession. And then they get decent field position. Now let's see what they can do with it.
So the Panthers are going to have the ball, looks like at their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10. And Bryce Knoll is back at quarterback. He hands it off straight up the middle. Guerra, he's got a hole. He's got some room and almost up to a first down. And, oh, it looks like a late flag coming in.
Let's see where
Guerra is slow to come up, to get back up on that one. Was that a face mask? I'm not sure.
Cassis. That's a hard one to say.
Cassis.
Yeah, he's the one that made the tackles. I think he saved about 15 yards on that play for the Bears. Unsportsmanlike conduct goes against the Panthers.
It happened in the center of the field. It looked like the umpire threw that flag in the center. So I was watching the ball carrier, so I didn't see what happened there. But
and it looked like it was right at the line of scrimmage and behind the play, actually, after Guerra had went forward. So it was behind the play, and it's going to bring up, it's going to bring up a first down and, a second down and 15 now.
So another 15-yard penalty against the Panthers, which, man, they were right there at second and inches, it looked like. So.
And that was in that last series, the Panthers, Bryce Knoll had a nice run, and then things went bad from there.
Bryce hands off. It's coming right. I can't see who the ball carrier is, but he picks up a few yards there.
Yeah.
Oh, and a late flag.
Blunt. Coach Blunt, you don't see that very often. Just got a flag thrown against him. And
I think he's upset because the Vernia guys are literally stomping on or getting up on top of, I think, the Navarro player. I think that's what he was complaining about.
And like I said, it's very rare to see Coach Blunt that upset to get a flag call. And I want to say that maybe his first that I've seen in broadcasting up here when Coach Blunt's been the coach. So, Lance, have a seat here.
I'm going to sit down for a minute.
Because these windows, believe it or not, we're in the visitors' press box, and they're like paned windows. And, for a press box, you like to see clear windows. Well, these got lines all in them, so you have to get at a point where you can open the windows and see underneath them. So, I think, Lance, your back gets a little, stiff as we get a little older.
It does.
We just can't bend the same way.
It does. I was bending over for most of the game, and I think I'm gonna take a seat.
Well, now the Panthers being pushed back even more after that penalty against Blunt.
So Bryce up to the line. He hands it off.
Oh,
the ball's free, and it looks like the Bears are on it. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but I just saw the ball sitting there in the middle of the field, and
well,
it almost looks like the fullback. Was it going to be a fullback dive? Or?
Yeah, I think it was intended for that inside handoff to the tailback, which was Dietz, and Dietz looked back, and he, as I see him talking back to one of the other players, going, "Well, I mean, I didn't have it, so to begin with." So it's one of those plays where, Coach Blunt talked about, we got to get better at making those handoffs, those exchanges, and then it leads to a turnover for the Panthers. Is now Vernia in great position.
So it looks like they take over at the 13-yard line. Handoff to the left side. Again, Sebastian Sanchez with a nice pickup.
Yeah, and he's more of a shifty runner than Lamb. Lamb is more of your power runner. So I guess if you would see comparing between Zeke Elliott and Pollard, you'd say that this is more like Pollard as a running back for the Cowboys. But for the Bears here now.
So they hand off again, same play, about the same result. First time it was 5 yards. Let's see what he picks up here.
Yeah, Sebastian got cut from behind as he's getting tackled, and he comes up a little gimpy there. But he's staying out there.
So he does pick up another 5, it looks like, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the Panther. Looks like about 3-yard line.
The defense needs a big play here.
A shotgun formation. He hands it again, and he runs in free for another Bear touchdown.
Well, he splits 2 defenders that were there for the Panthers and just goes right basically up the gut as the offensive line pushed the defensive line of the Panthers all the way to the left side on a down block. And then the 2 that were free for the Panthers, one of them was Nick Swartzolzi, and I think the other one was Houston Berry, and they basically ran into each other as Sebastian.
So the kick is down and up, and it is good.
Oh,
so that's going to make it 33 for the Bears, and for our Panthers, 7.
Ooh.
Here, and there's 4:49 left in the third quarter. Yeah. So again, man, that's, Sanchez is, and you've been saying it all night, he has got some shifty moves, and it's almost a nice jump cut to the left and a jump cut to the right, and boom, next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Right, and he's got good vision, and that's why I think that we're seeing him out there more than Lamb, because Lamb, like I said, looks to be more of a power runner, and then you've got Sebastian Sanchez out there, and he's that shifty runner, and he seems to have a little better vision, and maybe gets that first step a little quicker. So, all right.
So let's tell you a little bit about I think what was going on at the high school this week while they set up for a kickoff. So tennis on Wednesday played at home against Floresville, got the win. And I'm not sure how they do. I think it's 10 matches to 3 is how they score that. District, they're 3-0, on fire, and 8-1 overall. So, man, the tennis team is doing well. So Vernia is set to kick off from their own 40. They do kick it. Pooch kick. It is Walker Dietz. He lets it roll, and he goes back and jumps on it. Inside about his 12-yard line. It looks like he looked at it.
Yeah, I don't know if he thinks it's like a punt, but you got to field that ball and don't let that ball bounce on a kickoff, because it's a live ball once it goes past that 10 yards. Unless it goes past the goal line, then it's an automatic touchback.
That's right. And he's a freshman, right?
Right. You got to. Well, and it's a great learning situation then, as the coaches will probably talk to him and say, okay, you got to field that ball, catch it in the air, at the very least, call a fair catch in that situation.
He might have thought it was going to go out of bounds, but it didn't. So Bryce hands it off to the left side. Landon Taylor with a nice gain. And number 24, Cassius for the Bears makes a nice tackle, going low.
So now the Panthers, though, good gain for the Panthers. They're going to really have to play hurry up. We're still in the third quarter, 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here.
Bryce hands it off. Straight up the middle, over a dive play over the left side. Trying to see who that is. It looks like that's Guerra. He's back in there. Nice pickup. He picks up a first down out to about the 24-yard line of the Panthers.
Well, you were asking for a big run play or a big play. Maybe we can see it here for the Panthers.
So Bryce keeps it, and he's tripped up and sniffed out. And again, that was number 28, which is Hunter Burchett, senior. He sniffed that out. We've gone to that quarterback keeper here for a couple of times, and sometimes it does real well, and sometimes, boy, they sniff that out. But
and they got him from behind on that play.
They did.
So
2nd and 12. Panthers backed up just outside their own 20-yard line. Motion, and almost Vernia jumps, it looks like, and Bryce is tangled up in the backfield again for a loss, but it looks like Vernia is going to be called for offsides.
Yeah, that's what I expect here, is an offsides call by the official. So I'm watching the official to see what he has. If he puts his hands on his hips, yep, offsides defense. So we replayed it down, and that loss we had on first down now becomes a gain. And it's second and long still, though, for the Panthers.
2nd and 8, it looks like, from the 26-yard line of the Panthers. He hands it, going left, Landon Taylor. Minimal gain. Looks like he does pick up a couple of yards. But again, the Bear defense is just relentless.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, they've been all over the field, and ever since that, again, back to that first series, after that, it seems like they really settled in and as either reading their keys and being able to make the stops they need to.
So Bryce back to throw. He's got pressure. He throws it and dumps it off, and he's brought down hard by number 51, I think that was.
Yeah.
That's Connor Berry. Bryce really didn't have a choice but to just throw it.
Right.
And as he throws it, I mean, he didn't have a lot of time there, and there was no receiver in the area. So that incomplete pass stops the clock with 2:37 left here in the third quarter, and looks like Bryce Nall is going to be back to punt. It's going to bring up about a 4th and 6 from the Panther, it looks like 27-yard line.
Yeah, and people got to remember we have players out like Mabane, Joppa, Monroe.
So a nice punt over the head of Schmidt. Although he does field it, turns around, he's got some room, and he's wrangled down. Looks like by Colton Scholke. Yeah. But man, that shows you right there the athleticism of Colton Schmidt.
He can run the ball down over his head and gets it back to where the ball initially, hopped to get back there, and it shows his speed right there.
Man, and it's crazy. It was a low punt, but boy, it was a good punt.
Yeah.
A really, really nice punt by Bryce Nall. I'm not sure on the yardage there, but probably his best punt of the year, yardage-wise.
Yeah, I was going over all the players they're missing, and the other one was Colton Chambers as well.
So first down, he throws it. He completes it. The corner keeps the receiver in front of him this time for about a 7-yard gain. So not a bad defensive play there.
Still about a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, about a 6-yard gain.
But keep him in front of you and can stop the big play. But we need a big play on defense here.
So they handed up the middle, and boy, I tell you what, that was a nice play. Who was that? That's
two players that were there. Arias was one of them.
Looks like Arias and number 56, Jaden Gomez, man,
Yeah.
and he was fired up after that one.
Yeah, you love to see that. Now if they can take that fire and keep it up, third down and about 3.
3rd and 3, shotgun. He hands it, coming to the left side. Oh, he makes a nice move there at the end, and a nice juke, and that was Lamb.
Yeah, and he makes the player miss for the Panthers, and it was good initial. Looked like it was going to be a good stop by the Panthers to slow him down, but he makes a nice move to the inside, takes that step, and he puts that jab step, that foot down, and is able to cut it up, and that left foot, and then going right upfield.
So first down at the 44 for the Bears. He's back. He's going to throw. He's going to throw back to the right side. He's got a receiver. Can't see who that is. Looks like number 7. He's wrangled down for about a 9-yard gain. It just looked like a little simple curl route in the center of the field there. Andrew Strickland for the Bears, and it was
almost like a little button hook. You go out and you kind of curl there. You sit there, and boom, you find the middle of the zone, and nice play by the quarterback Hayes to find him.
Great throw, 2nd and 1. Nice, accurate. He's in the shotgun. He does hand it, coming left. That's Lamb. He's coming. He's tackled for a huge loss by Jacob Arias, running the alley. And he's going to lose about 5 or 6 yards on that.
Yeah, he sees the alley and the gap, and he goes straight through it and goes right after Lamb and makes a huge play. Brings up a 3rd down and 5, and that's what your defensive linemen have to do, is take up the offensive linemen so you can have, Tolliver and Arias to get out there as your linebackers make a play. So
it looks like there's a timeout on the field.
Well, I was going to say it's a perfect time to see if we have any updates or the QR code.
Let me look and see if we got some updated scores here.
And we could probably put up the QR code for donations to the Audiovisual Club, if we can get that up. But we'll go ahead and get you some scores instead.
So it looks like still 10-0 Cal Allen Wildcats over the Cuero Gobblers. I still don't have anything on Wimberley and Fredericksburg.
Yeah. And Marion looks to be, really taking care of Kansas City, Karns City, 28-6, and Lago Vista beating LaGrange 13-2.
Burnett is beating our opponent next week, Giddings, 14-7. It looks like that's at the half. The New Braunfels Unicorns traveled up to Pflugerville. Weiss Wolves, they're down 28-21.
Man, that miracle start, and then all of a sudden, it's after Canyon, they start going downhill there. I don't know what happened.
And their foes that beat them last week, Canyon, is up 21-20 over Bernie Champion. So we're back to action. I'm sorry, that was the end of the 3rd quarter. A nice throw there. A little bubble screen to Schmid, and he picks up a minimal gain of about 3. So the Panthers play that pretty nicely on the far side of the field out there.
Brings up a 4th down here. We're in the 4th quarter, and I missed that as well. When a timeout's taken on a field, sometimes it automatically say, hey, that timeout on the field's for a team, but it was the quarter. So now there's a penalty that goes against Lavernia. I didn't catch which it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that penalty was on.
But it's at least a 10-yard. So it looks to be a 10-yard penalty. If it's a spot foul, that would have been 10 yards. So I would say, it was a holding call.
So that's going to bring up about 3rd and 13. 3 receivers split to the near side. Shotgun formation. Panthers blitz. He's got time. He throws over the middle. It's tipped up. And it's incomplete. Looks like the pass was intended for Walter Frank.
Yeah, and good job by the Panthers defense in the defensive backfield because what I was watching is there was an all-out blitz going up front, and they took away the slant because Stratton Hayes was looking for that slant initially, so he had to wait till it cleared the underneath, which you had one of the underneath men there, so he had to wait till he cleared before he could make that throw.
So the Panthers, it might have tipped that. They did. The punt. And, it's going to be another flag, I think. Or, no, he picks it up and is pushed down. I'm sorry. Not a flag.
Yeah, it was still live. So
it was live. I apologize. But it looks like the Panthers did tip that.
Yeah.
I saw the ref give
the sign where you put the hand on top of the other hand or the fingertips.
And there was about 4 Panthers in there, so a nice rush. The Panthers are going to pick it up at about their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, we're in that 4th quarter, 11:23. We need some miracles to happen now for the Panthers.
So Panthers got the ball, their 4th drive of the half at their own 38. Bryce hands it coming right. I think that's Landon Taylor. And he's going to pick up about 4 yards out to about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, and that's
maybe 3.
Yeah, and the plays that we see, at this point in time, you're like, we need bigger chunks, but the offense is not designed for that. So let's see what we can do. Just get it down there and score.
So they hurry to the line. Bryce hands it off. Dive play straight up the middle. And he's going to pick up about 3 or 4.
So,
and that was not sure. That might have been Ian Palmer. I couldn't quite tell. Looks like Ian Palmer carried that ball. I couldn't.
It was
it was a big boy. I know that.
it was a mass of humanity there.
So about third and almost 5, Cropper in motion. Bryce coming left, and he is hit hard. Looks like he's a little short of the first down there.
So now this time the Panthers do take a timeout.
Panthers take, I think that's their, I'm gonna say their second timeout of the half.
I say, do we have that QR code that we can bring up? Do we have the? Yeah, we're trying to bring up the QR code for the.
So we're for the audio-visual club. So we're gonna bring that up. So
thanks for finishing my sentence.
Yeah, no worries.
I got stuck. I was looking at something on the screen. I'm like, oh man, it's like you talking about.
So there it is.
ADD, yeah.
So that's for the audio-visual club. That's what allows us to be here tonight, folks. So if you didn't come out to Vernia or couldn't make it out, but didn't have to gas up the car and buy stuff at the concession stand or get a ticket to the game, if you could donate those $5 over to the audio-visual club, that'd be great.
Yeah, these things freak me out too. I was like, when I first saw, what is that all over the screen? You know, and it's like, no, I mean, you know, my kids that are at 20-something now, and they're like, no, you just take your phone. You do. I was like, oh, that's really cool. So now I use it all the time. So please donate if you can.
Please do, and all donations are much appreciated. The students appreciate you for that. So we're back to action. It's 4th down and about 1.5, 2 yards. Receivers split to the near side. Brycing hand is off. He's got a lot of room. Landon Taylor's going to break it. Looks like it's the one man to beat. He's down the sidelines, out at about the 15-yard line of the Bears, and there it is, Hank. There it is, the big run we've been looking for.
Yeah, we've been looking for that all night, and then finally, Landon Taylor just follows his blocks, and he does that. It just looks so deceptive. He's holding it with both hands. It doesn't look like he's going fast, but he really is.
So the handoff straight up the middle. Cohen Blunt leaps a defender and goes in.
Yeah,
he's a big guy, but very nimble.
Yeah, gets that little hurdle over that.
He does.
He might have got 4 inches off the ground, though, over the guy. Yeah, but no, I'm just joking.
Yeah, you know, I've watched Cohen play tennis before, and, man, he's got some quick feet on him. So
good.
Yeah.
That makes a difference, that's for sure.
So 2nd and 8, it looks like he hands off, and Cropper to the right side, and a very minimal gain for Cropper there.
Yeah, there again. I mean, and this time we've called a whole array of defenders tonight, and Hunter Burchett, again, right there. I mean, just a good open field tackle to take him down.
So Bryce, he's going to throw. He's looking for a receiver in the end zone. It looks like he had one receiver about the 1-yard line, and then he threw deep back through the back of the end zone, and incomplete.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen him throw to Blackburn because Blackburn's man just really fell off and went into the end zone side. If he throws it to his outside shoulder just a little bit, and all he has to do is catch and turn, and he's in the end zone right at the 1. So I thought Cropper was well covered. So, and it could have been the passing lane wasn't there because he had linemen in front of him, so he may not have been able to get the ball where he really wanted to take it. So that was probably a way of just throwing out. Now it's 4th down.
So 4th down and 9. Bryce rolls right. He's got some time. He throws it. He's got a receiver. And does he bring it in?
Yeah.
He does bring it in.
Oh.
Looks like, I think that's...
Is Palmer? Is it?
I can't see.
Yeah,
Yes, it is. Ian Palmer with a heck of a diving catch for the Panther touchdown.
Wow. And he grabs it and he brings it down. Even though the ball is rubbing the turf, he has control of it when he goes to the ground. So that ball did not move. He put those claws on it, man, and just dug in. You know, he's a Panther, so that's why I said that.
So nice pass, great catch.
Sneed.
The kick is up, and kick is good from Sneed. So the Panthers, with 8:49 left to go.
Yeah, got 2 big plays out of that one. You know, when we see Landon Taylor take off on that big run, and then Bryce Nall to Ian Palmer is able to get that touchdown pass in play and get it down. And had Palmer laid out for that one.
Boy, he did.
Oh, my goodness.
Palmer he played right tackle for the longest time, and I know that they moved him to tight end this year.
Yeah.
And a little birdie told me that he could really catch the ball, and I believe that. I believe that little birdie now.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a catch.
Yeah. I mean, when you go lay yourself out like that and able to clamp down on the ball before it hits the ground the way he did, that's a sign of a good receiver. And so now, I mean, I would expect, but I'm not going to say they will, I would expect the Panthers to look at another onside here because being down 33-14 with 8:49, I mean, what do you have to lose, right, Lance? I mean,
yeah.
If you kick the ball deep, they get the ball, they run about 3 minutes off the clock at least, and so you need a possession here.
So 8:49 left in the fourth. Bears 33, Panthers 14. It looks like Landon Taylor is going to do the onside. It bounces up. Let's see. Rangel's got it. He's running. He's still running.
He can't advance it.
Oh, he can't advance it. Sorry. Got a little excited there.
No, that's okay. You can't advance a kickoff, a muff punt. You can't advance a muff punt, or you can't advance a muff kickoff. So but still, the good thing about it, Panthers have the ball,
and it was a heck of a play.
Yeah,
he caught it midair.
And Landon Taylor did a great job of doing an onside of that. We saw it that 1 week where we saw Blackburn do it, and now we see Taylor do it this week.
And it bounced up at just the last minute, and he went up, kind of skied, and grabbed it out of the air, and it's just a heck of a play by Rangel. So Bryce, he's going to throw. He's got a receiver. And it was Ian Palmer again, and
I think that was a misread by one or the other. Either Palmer was supposed to set a little earlier, and he kept moving. We see that a lot even with college and the pros at times. But I think, did not expect him to be in that spot. Sorry if you stepped on you there, Lance.
Not at all, not at all. I had to shift my headgear here, so.
Yeah, like shift your head because, wow, that was really quick. Boom, boom, and that happened.
So the Panthers, I didn't even get a chance to call it there, but the Panthers have the ball at the Bear, looks like 43-yard line.
Yep, 43, and 8 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter of play.
So Bryce hands it off, coming left. Landon Taylor, very patient, goes back in the hole, and I liked how he kind of read his blocks there. And
just being patient and looking for the hole. I mean, and last time he did that, we saw him twice tonight shake off defenders, and it was able to get big runs. We've seen that twice. Now, that last run he had, that big run he had, that was the best one of the night.
So Bryce hands it off up the middle. Guerra, he's got a minimal gain and almost.
Yeah, I mean,
he got a couple yards. That was third down. It's going to bring up fourth down now.
I'd like to see a Panther end-around reverse here, where we see Ian Palmer end up with it after it's handed off from one back to the other. I've only seen it once done by the Panthers, and it was under another regime.
So the ball's at the Bear 38-yard line. It's about 4th and 5.5. So we've got a receiver split to the near side for the Panthers. Another receiver goes to the far side. So Nall's back. He's going to throw it. He's getting pressure. Oh, he's got a ton of room. He's going to get the first down.
Yeah.
And
did he get out of bounds, or is there a flag right on the sideline over there?
Yeah, I think there is a flag. I saw the flag come in. I just didn't see it land, but sure enough, there is.
Let's see what we got. Sometimes you have an illegal block below the waist when you see it from coming outside in. You have to stay above the waist. You can't go below. It's just like the old crackback, So let's see what the call is. I'm watching the white hat, hoping I can. He's talking to the side judge, and so there is. So the head referee says, looks like a block in the back. That's going to go against the Panthers, and oh man, that's fourth down all over again.
Yeah, that's a killer because that was a good play.
Yeah,
Bryce picked up a bunch of yards there, and it was nicely
yeah.
blocked. But again, may have been nicely blocked because of the
to block
penalty.
him back. And
Yeah.
so, but I'm going to sit here and say that the Panthers have done a good job at times on these big plays. We've seen it already with Ian Palmer. We just saw it by Nall making that big run. So, hey, let's do it again.
So it's a spot foul, so it's going to not back him up too much.
Right.
It is 4th and about 9 from looks like about the 42-yard line of the Bears. So Bryce, he's back. He's got pressure from the backside. He throws it.
Throws it
and
behind
man,
him.
he had Bo Brumley, but man, he was hit and he didn't have time to get it to him. But Bo Brumley was open, but he just didn't have time to get the pass to him.
Yeah, it was just
a lot of pressure from the backside.
Yep.
Number 21.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Luke Campbell for the Bears. So.
Ooh, that's a turnover on downs. Bryce Nall's been hit quite a few times tonight in the backfield, and with the young offensive line and all that, you may see that. Sad to say we see that.
So the Bears take over on their own 42-yard line, shotgun formation, 2 receivers to each side, straight up the middle, and he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
And that's number 8, and I don't think we've seen him yet.
Yeah, we've only seen him on
Keegan Hayek.
Yeah, and we've seen him on some of the jet sweeps, but we hadn't seen him in the backfield lined up as a back. And so he goes the distance, takes it to the house. So that pretty much.
I tell you what, I don't know, Hank. He was probably touched, but man, it was close because he was quick through that hole.
Yeah, when you say quick, exactly. He had all the Panthers turning, but it looked like the Panthers had loaded the box, though. And once you get through that first line of defense, there wasn't any safeties back there to stop them.
No,
so,
and the kick is up, and it is good. But, man, that kid is a bright future, just a sophomore. And, wow, he's fast. I don't know if he's because he's fresh, but
yeah,
he's a quick cat. Wow. So that makes it 40-14 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter here from Bear Stadium in Vernia, Texas.
Well, at halftime, I have Lago Vista over LaGrange 13-2. Yeah, I still show Hillsboro at halftime over the Gerald Cougars 22-12. And then still never got a score on Fredericksburg and Wimberley. So
the Panthers are going to get the ball back here, and
with 6:40 remaining in the game.
6:40 in the game, and let's see what we can do with the ball. We've moved the ball here in the second half. We've had a fumble. We punted a couple of punts, and then our last. This will be our 6th drive. Our last drive ended in Bear territory at the own 43 on downs. They had a lot of pressure on 4th down throw, but let's see what we can do here.
Yeah, in that second half, we've seen
another pooch kick. Again, it goes over to the freshman. Oh, and he's hit hard. No, I'm sorry. That was Xavier Cropper with the return, and he returns it about 4 yards, and he hit a wall of Bears.
Yeah.
And so the Panthers will take over at their own 24-yard line.
Wow. Now the Panthers just have to take and salvage what they can and say, hey, let's finish strong. Let's go. Let's finish strong.
So they hand off, go straight up the middle. Oh, it's a nice run.
Oh no.
And he picks up, it looks like almost a first down. Is that
Guerra? Yeah, I think it is. He just had a weird way of falling after he hits his own. I think he hit the own offensive lineman and he fell back. And
so they're backing him up. I'm not. Oh, looks like we must have had a false start or an illegal motion there.
Right. Legal motion, legal formation.
So that backs the Panthers up. It's going to be 1st and 15.
I like
from
the
inside
run.
their 20. It was a great run, almost a first down. It looks like Cropper moves on that one. Or I'm sorry, that's a new running back. That's Caleb Garcia.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why, but he jumped and started a little bit early on that. So
Yeah, I think that's that weird motion that the Panthers seem to try to do, and it's not a fluid motion where you take that turn to the right, you stop, and then you go. But you have to be set for a certain amount of time before you can take off again, and that's what the officials call. It's like, oh, that looks like the start of a play, and it's not a fluid motion.
So Panthers going the wrong way here.
Yeah,
1st and 20. They are back inside their own 15, about the 14-yard line. Bryce under center. He does hand off. It is another flag is down. It is Caleb Garcia.
Yeah, it's going to be against the defense as they have 12 men on the field at the time that the ball was snapped. Had one player that was going to come in for the Bears, and he turns around and he goes off, and that was Brandon Zorola. And he comes in, and I was like, oh, wait, well, I better get back out, and he didn't make it. So at least the Panthers get 5 yards of it back, of what should be a 1st and 15 coming up here.
So Panthers got the ball here. It's going to be 1st and 15. So they get 5 back on that. It's about on the 19-yard line of the Panthers. Bryce under center. Oh, I'm sorry. Colton Schulke is in at quarterback now, and he hands off to Gabriel Rangel coming to the left side here, and there's nothing doing. There's no room there. And I think he loses about at least 3 on that.
Man, and then that's, and you mostly got, not all, but you've got a lot of different players mixed in different positions right now.
You do. For both teams.
Right.
So Schulke hands off up the middle. It's Blunt, I think. And he is rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and he almost gets a first down. A nice run straight up, fullback dive.
Yeah, a little misdirection, making it think it's going to one of the backs, either the tailback or halfback, but then it ends up sneaking into the fullback there.
So 3rd and short. Again, Blunt off the right side this time, and man, he is running, and he's got a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah,
more.
That's what you like to see, and not going backwards the other way like we were with the false starts and all this. So let's like to see this cleaned up and get down and score. 5 minutes remaining here in the final quarter of play.
So Schulke hands off to Cropper, going to the right side.
Yeah, Cropper does a good job following his blocks and gets upfield.
So hurry up for the Panthers.
Yep.
7-yard gain, it's 2nd down.
They hand it straight up, fullback dive again. That's Blunt one more time, and he's going to get another Panther first down.
Now, I mean, he's like sounding like this, Yeah, he's taking it, and that first hit didn't take him down, and that's what you like to see.
Absolutely. So Schulke back to throw. He's got a receiver. Oh, and it's broken up by number 16 for the Aiden Duffick Jr. He's a big kid.
Yeah.
Man, he comes in there, and a little curl route that was thrown. Looks like it was intended for Blackburn and broken up nicely by Duffick.
Yeah, he read it well, broke on the ball right at the right time, and sat back and didn't let, made sure he wasn't going to get behind him, and then just broke on the ball well.
So Schulke hands it. Again, it looks like Guerra on that play. Another fullback dive up the middle.
Now it brings up that 3rd down, and let's see, I would expect the Panthers to, let's see what Schulke can do on the passing side of it. But we have seen the Panthers pass more often than usual.
So he picks up about 2.5 yards. The ball sets just inside the Bear territory at the 48-yard line. So looks like we got a timeout.
Yeah, the Bears took it this time. I don't know if they were looking at calling them for a delay because of the way they were substituting personnel, but yeah, the score 40-14. Well,
And we are cruising through the game here.
Yeah, I mean, the time is flying by.
I tell you what, so I think it was at tennis. So we went over the score. So tonight in volleyball at home, the Lady Panthers are taking on Davenport. Don't have a score for you there, but so next week, next Tuesday, volleyball is going to be at Bandera. Tennis will be at home with matches with Karn City starting at 4:30 p.m. Next Friday, the 23rd, the volleyball will be at Vernia. And football, we will be at home playing the Giddings. And then next Saturday, the 24th of September, cross country is going to be at Gonzales. You got some scores?
No, well, I was looking at the Fredericksburg Wembley. You know why they said we don't have a score? They're showing they're going to be playing tomorrow.
Oh.
I don't know if something got postponed, but they're showing at 10 in the morning at Texan Stadium.
Oh, wow. So handoff to the right side. That's Caleb Garcia again. Picks up a nice gain. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 2. They're quick to the line. They hand it, coming left, and it looks like he should have enough for the first down.
Nice turn at the last minute. You see him shift those shoulders.
And that was a hard run by Gabriel Rangel.
Yeah.
Man, he was running hard.
Yeah, and to see that small twist in that lane makes that first down. Good hard run, like you said, Lance.
So 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Panthers inside the Bear 40, and Cohen Blunt is just churning up yards. I think that's another first down.
Yeah, and he's just a freshman.
Man, and he is running hard, I tell you. So, again, the hurry up. Schulke hands it, ball's on the ground, and I think the Bears jumped on it. It looks like the Bears are saying they've got it. But let's see, and yes, official confirmation that the Bears do jump on it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was the handoff between the exchange between Schulke and Blunt that the ball came loose from. So
that's another fumble for the. That's another freshman there that fumbled that. I think Dietz had the fumble earlier in the half. So gonna have to clean that up.
Yeah. A lot of things that'll have to be cleaned up by the Panthers, but don't count them out yet. I know a lot of people say, well, the Panthers don't look good tonight against Lavernia. They've never won in Lavernia, so which is strange to me because we've had some really good teams come through, but Lavernia's always played tough at home.
So new quarterback, and he's under a lot of duress, and it looks like, man, Cohen Blunt maybe a little upset over that fumble, but he came in and made a nice tackle and sack on number 8. The new quarterback is Keegan.
Right. Yeah, and that snap.
AJ.
Yeah, luckily, that helped it out is the snap was a little low and it just rolled back to the quarterback. So the quarterback had to pick it up and just try to get out of there. And as the Panthers defense just really collapsed on him.
So, man, they lost about 10 yards at least on that. The handoff goes straight up the middle. That's Garrett Lamb, and he's bottled up after about a 7-yard gain. That's going to make it 3rd down. So about 3rd and 14. So he does pick up about 6 on that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you get one big play and then they come back with another, but it's still 3rd down and very long here. About what did you say, 3rd and 14, I believe?
About 3rd and 14. There's a minute 44 left on the clock. The clock continues to run. He hands off up the middle. Landon Taylor makes a nice tackle. Again, Garrett Lamb off the right side. Off the right side there.
I'll tell you who I've been impressed with for the Panthers, though, is Arias tonight on defense. He's been all over the field. We've called him numerous times, and just to see him flying to the ball from that inside linebacker position.
He has.
And so,
And he replaced the senior, Case Monroe, leading tackler for the Panthers last year. So that's good to see.
Right. So it looks like we got a timeout on the field with a minute 31
Monroe's
remaining.
been injured. He was injured, I think, on the second play of the entire season. So it's good to see Jacob Arias come in and pick up the defense and maybe pick up where Case Monroe left off last year, huh?
Yeah, and then when Case comes back, coach has got some hard decisions to make because you can only carry 2 linebackers, but you can rotate them. So you've got Tolliver and all in there as well. So Tolliver and Arias, and then you've got Monroe. So those 3, you rotate in, and they do that well with the defensive linemen. So I don't see why you couldn't do that also with linebackers if you need to.
Well, after the timeout, there is 1:31 left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. It is 4th down after that tackle by Landon Taylor. The Bears are going to be forced to punt, and back deep is Colton Schulke for the Panthers. Oh, and Panthers get in there close. Looks like Schulke fields it. He's got some room, and a nice return. He runs out of bounds all the way down to about the Bears' 36-yard line.
One thing I really do like about Schulke and the way he carries himself out there, you could tell he plays with a lot of confidence. He's not scared of any situation. He's out there. I mean, even when he's playing receiver and not the quarterback, you see a lot of confidence in that young man, and you like to see that out of players. Just like we were talking about Arias, it's the same thing. He shows a lot of confidence when he's out there.
Right.
Oh, no.
Oh, so they fumbled a snap, it looks like. That was Schulke underneath there, and I think he jumps back on it. No. Actually, Cohen Blunt.
Oh, yeah, Blunt gets it.
Blunt gets back on it.
Yeah.
And again, hurry up. A handoff. Walker Dietz running right, and, man, he is knocked down quick.
And I think he was pushed backwards by one of the linemen coming in, defensive lineman hitting one of the Panthers linemen, pushed it right back into him.
Right. So that was basically no gain.
Yeah.
Or it looks like he might have lost almost a yard. The
Right.
clock is ticking with 48 seconds left, 47 under center. He hands off, and there's minimal gain there for the Panthers.
So, well, after the game, we're going to go into our post-game show, and we'll have the announcements from the high school and junior high that we didn't get to in our pregame or halftime. So we'll make sure to have those queued up right after this game's over.
Schulke hands it off, going left to Landon Taylor, and he picks up a nice gain there. That was
that a first down? Or
I'm not sure.
He's real close.
Oh,
yep, there. Oh, first down the other way because it was a 4th down.
It was a 4th down play, yeah. So the Bears do get it back. There's 16 seconds left, so a change of possession there.
Yeah.
And I would just think the Bears would just take a knee on this.
Yeah. And let's see what the Bears are going all to the sideline. So
40-14.
And
the Bears look like they're going to win this tonight. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And, the streak continues. The Panthers have never won here at Vernia. And
in the last few games, we have not had, in the last 4 games, we have not had Vernia when we played at home. Vernia hasn't beat us.
True. So a real home series.
Yeah.
So he does take a knee, the quarterback for the Bears, and they're going to shake hands, and that's gonna do it, folks. So from Bear Stadium here in Vernia, Texas, you are watching the Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse. So
Hello Panthers, I'm Clay Scarborough, Principal of Navarro High School, where our primary purpose is to graduate well-rounded citizens who are prepared for college, career, and leadership opportunities through our values of excellence in academics, extracurriculars, family, and community. This is the Principal's Report for September the 19th through the 25th. We are moving quickly through the school year. We will enter the last week of the 6 weeks of this grading period this week. So parents, guardians, students, make sure your work is turned in, tests are made up. The first 6 weeks can dictate whether you are playing from ahead or behind the rest of the semester, so let's make sure those grades are where they need to be. Mark your calendar. September the 28th is Open House and Future Fair. We will be at the high school, and we have college, career, military, tech schools will all be on campus. We have about 14 of them lined up right now. Open house will start at 5. Go around and meet your teachers, and then Future Fair will officially start at 5:30. Either in our cafeteria or our high school gym. But meet your teachers, get your report cards, come see what your future has to hold for you. All that is September the 28th here at Navarro High School. Let's talk about the week that was here at Navarro. On Friday, volleyball grabbed their first district win, 3-0 over Canyon Lake. It was also their district opener, so good job, ladies. Football then defeated Smithfield 28-21 on a late touchdown. On Saturday, Lady Panther cross country team finished 4th overall, and varsity boys finished 10th at the same meet. I think it was the Piper meet. On Tuesday, volleyball lost on the road to Fredericksburg 3-2. Jumped out to a 2-0 lead over Fredericksburg. It's impressive. They're ranked in the state. On Wednesday, tennis defeated Floresville 10-3. On Thursday, freshman football defeated Lavernia 14-12, and JV tied Lavernia 8-8. So this weekend, these are games we will update next week on the Principal's Report. Volleyball is here against Davenport. It's a 3rd district game, and football will head to Lavernia. So the week ahead here at Navarro, on Tuesday, volleyball is at Bandera, continuing that district schedule. On Wednesday, tennis will take on Carn City here. That's at 4:30 p.m. On Thursday, our theater department is going to host a dinner theater. They also do that again on Saturday, but that's at 7 p.m. Tickets are available. The show is called Dice, and it's written by our theater director herself, Aaliyah Petmecki. Sub-varsity football is here on Thursday at 5 and 6:30. Friday, volleyball is at Vernia, and football is here at Giddings. So no, sub-varsity football is on the road next Thursday. All right, so now for our segment called Student Questions, Scarborough Answers. Why did you want to become a high school principal? Well, sometimes you feel kind of called different directions in life. After 10 years as a teacher, 5 years as an assistant principal, I felt like it was the right move for me and my family, and it's turned out well so far. This is entering my 6th year as a high school principal and loving every minute of it. It's a balancing act every day, but we enjoy it. The kids, the staff, the students, and the things we get to help our students accomplish every day. And then where should you start when looking for something to do after high school? Well, that depends on what you want to do after high school. If it's a job, let's find a CTE pathway to get you plugged in, get you a certification so that when you leave here, you're certified. You'll start doing that job immediately. If it's a college, we need to start looking at kind of in the sophomore year, junior year, what level you want to go at, and then start getting those applications ready by the end of the junior year and start rolling toward where we want to go. So it kind of depends on what you want to do, but we can get you set for both here at Navarro. Actually, not just here. A lot of places now are set up so that when you leave high school, you can go get what you want, whether that's a career or college or just, something else interests you. But that's the purpose of the high school, to prepare you for what's next after high school. And if we're not doing that, we're not doing our jobs. All right, so I hope to see you at all these events. What a great week ahead here at Navarro. Great things are being done. First 6 weeks is almost wrapped up, so make sure those grades are where you need to be. Let's go, Panthers.
All right, we're back here in Lavernia, post-game show for the Panthers. This is where we do the player of the game, Hank.
Yeah, and that was a real tough decision. It was actually between two players, and it was between you had mentioned Sebastian Sanchez. He had scored 2 touchdowns, and he wasn't even listed as a starter, to begin with, but he came out and he ran the ball very well, very shifty. And then the other player that you looked at
was number 2, the electric speedy receiver who
I like that. Electric speedy receiver.
Colton Smid, who we knew coming in was going to be the guy, for them on offense. And man, sure enough, he did not disappoint if you're a Bears fan. So I think he's our player of the game for tonight. And did an excellent job as always for the Bears. So the Bears go 2-2. Our Panthers now are at 1-3, and next week we will be in Giddings, and
at home,
right?
At
home, and so that'll be nice to get back home.
Right.
So now the Panthers have not won a game on the road this year, so we're 0-3 on the road, 1-0 at home. So it should be nice to get back to home. But let's check and see what Giddings is doing tonight. Giddings, I think, was 1-2 going into the night, and
we were trying to get.
Yeah, they are. They're down 21-7. It looks like in the third, but 8 minutes left in the third quarter, playing at home against Burnett. So if that holds true, then we're going to have 2 1-3 teams, but that's not official yet. So if you're listening from Giddings, I'm not saying that that you've lost yet, but you are down a couple touchdowns in the third. So looks like we're going to have
Scott Kibbe join us here in a little bit. So but the other thing is that I'd like for us one more time. We can probably keep it up there on the post game show. Is the QR code for the donations?
Sure.
For the Audiovisual Club, there it is. You go to that, pay on PayPal, whatever you can. That will definitely help out the Audiovisual Club and get us into possibly the basketball season, baseball season, and some other things as well. So
that's right. We got a couple volleyball games we'd like to do. So please donate if you can. If it's $5, if it's $10, if it's $50. But if you couldn't make it out tonight, or if you're sitting at home enjoying the broadcast, please throw the kids a bone.
That's right. That's right. And they've been doing a great job for us.
They have, man. And tonight they were rock stars again, and so we appreciate them. We also appreciate our fine partners from Monticello Production Company, and great job as always. And I think we're ready for Scott Kibbe.
Yeah, right. Scott. Hey, glad you could join us again, and you're still here. Thank goodness.
Still here. Okay, for Navarro tonight, 13 first downs, 61 rushes for 244 yards, 20 passing yards on 2 out of 9 attempts, 3 punts for 29.7 average, 5 fumbles, lost 2, 9 penalties, 83 yards. Leading rusher, Landon Taylor, 10 carries, 97 yards. Caden Guerra, 15 for 61. And Cohen Blunt, 11 for 53. Palmer, 1 catch for 13 yards, and Taylor, 1 for 7. For Vernia, also 13 first downs, 31 rushes, 256 yards, 125 passing yards on 8 out of 10 attempts. 4 punts, average of 42 yards, 1 fumble, did not lose it. Had 5 penalties for 30 yards. Sanchez led the way for them. 12 carries, 88 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Colton Schmid, 5 receptions, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns.
There you go.
He was our player of the game we had picked for Colton Schmidt Jr., and we picked him to be the player of the game today for his offensive performance, but he also, he'd field punts. He was even a punter out there as well that one time, and that I saw. But he electrified the Lavernia offense, and as what did you say, he was the speedy electric guy or something like that?
The electric speedy guy.
Yeah, I was like, so I mean, it looked like bolts of lightning are following him as he's going, because I mean he really was electric tonight. and hard to stop when he's open. And the quarterback Hayes had to get him the ball, and that one pass play that was, I think we got him close to 44 yards to go down the field and put it on the dime.
Yeah, and let's not discount Hayes. Hayes threw the ball really nice tonight, and he came in with how many interceptions? Several.
He had five interceptions. Five interceptions to only 4 touchdowns is what we had on Max Prep. So
his by far his best game.
Yeah.
And 8 out of 10, very efficient.
And he was and he was very accurate. He was putting the ball where it needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, so where do the Panthers go from here, Scott? I mean, they didn't perform as well as we'd like, but we know there's injuries out there. I mean, they're missing 4 critical players from Diego, Chapa, and
Colton Chambers,
Case Monroe,
and
Mebane. Yeah. So we've got those 4 out, and other nagging little injuries amongst the active players too. So. With all that, where do the Panthers go from here when they play Giddings at home next week?
The worry right now, those physical injuries will heal. It's mental that you're worried about right now. They're not mentally right now. Yeah. They'll say that. They're expecting bad things to happen. Bad things are happening. They've been some bad luck.
Right.
But those bad things are happening at bad times. And so if you're Coach Blunt with this next week, you say got one more game until district. And, put everything into trying to win this one. We're going to get healthy. District's going to be another season, but we need to get a little momentum.
Right.
We need to change that mental attitude coming in.
True.
And we can't wait and expect to just be turned on in the first district game.
Right.
We got to go out next week, have a good week, get a win, and then get your week off and get healthy.
True.
Right. And mentally, mentally those things are for what I see is just bringing physicality. Because that's a mental concept of just going out and when I hate to always refer back to this, but when I played, I mean, you played with reckless disregard for your body and your safety, and football was about that for us at the time. And it means that, you got to play smart too, I understand, but, you got to lay it all out there. And sometimes I don't think we see this team, it's not about lack of effort. It's about that mental, concept of being just outright physical. I'm going to take you out kind of a mentality. And I don't see that at times. At times I do. Now, don't get me wrong. I think this team could be very physical. It's just a matter of getting them all together on the same page at the same time to do it and do it smartly.
I will say it and thought this earlier. I've not seen them being the hardest hitting team in a game this year. And that's what we missed. And some of those Panther teams in the past never failed to be the hardest hitting teams.
Right.
So they need to get some of that back. And you just got to be able, hang on the momentum when you get a little killer instinct, and but it's confidence, and it's just
we talked about that too.
One of those things until good things happen, it's hard to get confidence, but hard to get good things to happen without confidence.
That's
so,
right.
That's what they got to figure out.
It's that vicious cycle, So, and we used to see that. Sad to say, before the the 80s and parts after the in the 90s, but this team from in certain terms like 2005, if I can talk right here, 2005, 2006, there was some teams in there that played pretty good. They didn't play great, but they played pretty good, and then you saw it take off. After that, after 2007, you see them just start to establish that winning tradition, and that's still here. It's just a matter of them getting that mental attitude.
Well, and if they can take inspiration, if you go back to one Navarro team, I'm thinking of the 2004 team started 1-5, and a lot of tough losses, tough games. Ended up getting a second round of the playoffs that year, being Stockdale in the first round. So
in Seguin, I think at that.
Yeah, it was in Seguin.
Stadium.
And district games. District is different. It's a different season. We've seen Wimberley struggle in the preseason before. We've seen Cuero struggle in it, and then turn on the Jets when district hits. So. That's what you're hoping for. They're
never out. Yeah.
They're still, if they can get healthy, there's still a lot of good talent on this team. They just got to get mentally right.
All right. Wow. Well, and Scott Kibbe, thank you, because they could read all about this game in your article on Sunday. Is that correct? At the Seguin Gazette.
That's right.
All right. Thanks very much, Scott, and have a safe trip home.
Thank you. Y'all too.
Thanks, Scott. Well, I tell you, Hank. We're going home.
Yep.
And, again, if you're out there, Panther fans, don't we just talked about
despair.
Don't count us out. This game, you don't want to say it doesn't count, but it doesn't count.
Right.
Towards district or towards playoffs. We still got several weeks to go before we start that. So let's let that be the focus. We're gonna get healthy in the time. We're gonna get some kids back and some players back for before we start district. But let's go get us a win at home against Giddings and go from there.
Yeah, I think we can muster that up, and things can change in a week, and I expect it to, and we'll see what the Panthers have in store for the Giddings Buffaloes, because those have always been good series over the years. So I expect it to be no different this year, and I expect to have a lot of fun next week at our home game, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, in one way, I'm excited to see how this team bounces back, after a big loss like this.
Right.
If they can do it, then it gives you inspiration for the next game, gives you that confidence, and we go from there.
That's right. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us here at the Navarro Panther Network. So you have been watching Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse. We're going to sign off here tonight from Bear Stadium in Vernia, Texas, and we're going to say good night and God bless.
Good night.